Welcome to this is episode 5 of the series 3 in the Cyberpunk Dark Skies 2078. So this is the day current is going to be the 19th of February. We are going to be picking up a new method for how downtime in between episodes for the West Marches style game that we're running here. And that format will be taking place after this episode. So if you're watching this and you're in the game, assume that set point, the checkpoint, will be taking place soon after this. Last night, in the middle of the night, somewhere around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., a car was very hurriedly leaving North Oak and was driving very unsafely. As it got onto the 101 and made its way through Westbrook, on the north side of Westbrook at the Exchange, which is this area here, it got in a car crash, which led to a bit of a pileup and a necessary diversion of route. AVs were brought on the scene to assist with traffic maneuvering and making sure everyone was kind of off of the exchange or heading off of the exchange in the correct manner. And also, trauma team AVs were sent out to that location. Additionally, an REO meat wagon EMT vehicle was en route, and these two arrived at the same time. According to what you've been able to pull, Rem, the EMTs in the REO meat wagon included someone that you are aware of, and someone that you know was probably gunned down on site simply for corporate affiliation by a separate corporation. You don't have proof of that, but you do know that the individual in question was killed on the scene. According to reports, you have no idea who did it. An official statement has not been made. And that corpse, that person, alive or dead, has been taken to Night City Medical Center in Chinatown. That is located in Watson. And it is just within the shadow of Mega Building 11. It's kind of across the way from Lizzie's bar. It's a few blocks away from Old Moe's. It's right in the middle of the action, and we've run past it a couple of times. We've never gone into it. Rem, due to the early morning nature of this event, you received the information. You know you have to get to that person as soon as possible, because that data will probably be either taken or scrubbed in short order. It may already be too late, but an effort has to be made. Mm-hmm. You called these assholes for whatever reason. Now, I assume that you called them and asked them if they were willing to do you a favor and didn't keep the communication regarding the matter on comms.
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you want them to meet you?
Probably. Would Lizzie's be open this early?
As
Probably
from playing
not.
the video game, you should be well aware that Lizzie's is not open until 5 p.m.
I played 5 minutes of the video game,
Well, if you've been watching Josh's wonderful stream at the Wombat of Doom on Twitch here, you would know that Lizzie's isn't open until 5 p.m. and it doesn't close, or it closes around 4 or 5 a.m. Okay. So certainly not open.
Okay. Is there a coffee shop or there's something close by?
A Buck a Slice. There's also a couple of small restaurant vendors inside of the external segment of the location, mainly for feeding residents who are well enough to kind of maneuver about, and also the staff. And that'd basically be in this kind of exterior kind of segment. As you may notice from the build of the medical center, it has its own kind of curtain wall. Effectively, there's a grouping of buildings that kind of encircle the actual building itself. Then there's the exterior wall, And the main thoroughfare actually drives underneath that kind of section of buildings as well. But yeah, there's plenty to do, plenty of locations to meet at and eat at in NCMC.
Okay. She would want to have them meet her at uh, just like a bucket slice there, like very close by.
All right. Is anybody dejected by the location so much so that they do not want to do this job?
All of a sudden, just be like, I'm bagging out. I don't know what you
Bucket
want.
slice.
Pizza. It's 8 a.m. Madness.
You
Bucket slice.
cheap.
As we've mentioned in Dark Skies, Bucket Slice is not known for their pizza. They have terrible pizza. It's cheap. It's not a buck, but it is cheap. And yeah, it's a very much a Dollar General kind of situation.
See, I was going with like the Dollar Tree. There's nothing a dollar about it, nor trees.
Right, correct. You get no dollars, you get no trees. But it is shit, so I mean, it definitely would offend Aaron's sensibilities.
Not gonna eat any, but it's
Yeah,
good, it's good a place to meet as any.
That's
Okay.
the same thing I was thinking. I'm not touching the food, but I'll talk to you here.
They have
Sure.
coffee.
It's not good.
So, Hatter, I assume you're going in your typical fit, suited
Yeah.
and ready to go.
I won't ever fit in at a hospital, so yeah.
Rocco, we kind of discussed a bit of your loadout and scheming, but I assume you're in your typical tech gear fit. You're not like dressed in any other kind of way. Trying to look as official as possible, but also trying to look, ready to go as well.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to be nondescript. So common outfit. Ultimately, I'll just mention it to the group. I'm wearing my tech arm, so I am not armed with a gun. My shotgun arm is not present for the first time in the series, or last series too, or the other series. So
This would be something that Hatter, Rocco, probably Rem not to a high degree. She's been here before, but she also was missing a leg, so she probably wasn't paying attention to the details. But Ares would also be familiar with this. Anybody entering into the facility through its accident and emergency location or any one of its facility entrances will be dealt with by scan, and the scan will immediately shut off any combat cyberware that you have while on the premise. This can be overridden. However, it may come up as noticed if that's the case. Typically, it'll be overridden either by a cyberware tech role or a netrunner's activity in kind of operation inside your neuroport. Best way to think of it is like took a Wi-Fi jammer, but specifically for combat gear. Okay, so you're at the location. You meet with our host Rem, and I'm gonna post nothing. Oh wait, here we go. I'll post this. This will give us a better view of the location as we kind of talk about what we're doing.
So we're at the bucket slice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever everyone arrives, Rem would be like noticeably like tired looking, like definitely did not sleep last night, and just like holding the cup of coffee in front of her, waiting for them to show up. Like she's probably on her third one. um, and then would wait for everyone to show up and sit down before discussing the matter at hand. Um,
you don't look good, Rem. What's up?
no. So I don't have a lot of money right now, but I do need your help, and you three are people who I could probably owe favors to the best, and I guess I trust you.
I didn't say you have two people here who could have bankrolled a job and you chose us to work it instead.
There's no money in this for anyone, not even myself.
I'm always good to work for favors.
Yeah. So, you can have me work for you for free in the future. As long as I make it out of this. But we need to get a body or at least the chipware from the body. And you, looking at Hatter, would probably be the best to get that out. With the help of Rocco. But I just need I need that chipware from the body or the body as a whole, whichever we can get.
And I take it the normal means of procuring the body were not successful.
The body's owned by the corporation, right, John? Or like
Yeah, so it is owned by Ario Meatwagon, but as I tried to
Yeah.
outline in the beginning, the situation is that Trauma Team, the presumption that you have is Trauma Team killed this person
Yeah.
simply for showing up on the scene
Yeah.
and being a part of the corporation. So they are holding the body, and it's kind of corporately illegal already. So they're
Mhm.
probably not going to let it go for any legitimate reasons.
Yeah, like I need this body for normal reason, like actual normal reasons, not like nefarious normal reasons.
Yeah, you could literally be related to them, and the body's not leaving.
Yeah.
So we just need access to the morgue and whatever. I don't know what they call. What they hold bodies in the morgue, whatever freezer it's in.
Yes.
This cold storage. We
So
have
he's-
one at my place.
So we need to know then what
Yeah.
cold storage unit it's in, and then access to the morgue. Does Rem care if I bring either of my associates?
That would be fine. She would reiterate that she cannot pay them.
No, that's fine. I pay them. Victor's sleeping, but Severo will be with me for this one. Even it's just like a lookout in the lobby if we need.
Now, this is going to seem like a really stupid question, but it's a bit warm this morning. Rem, do you take off your sweater?
Sure.
Yeah.
It was the only segue I had to get us into the redraw.
I saw the redraw and I was like, she looks like those like the old school like stuffed animal animations that just like they rip and then they're a huge monster.
Well, a quick note. Okay, so there's a tale here. Prior to drawing her, I was sent reference art, and then I drew it, and I obviously didn't draw it with definition. It was kind of the same framework as like the references, but obviously not what Elizabeth wanted. And I kind of ever since then, especially with everything that was like missing her initiatives, having her be the
All
person
of the
just
bullying.
filming everybody else doing cool stuff, I felt like a dickhead, so I wanted to redraw it. And yeah, she's a little bit more lean beef patty and less not that. But yeah, she takes
She's
off
always been yoked. We just didn't notice because she's wearing a bag.
because she was wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
That was the excuse I was going to
It
make.
was the sweater.
Thank you. Thank you for getting what I was trying to do. So yeah, she's
Stealth build. Like,
yeah. Well, it was a puffy sweater. You know, she's jacked though. She is fucking jacked.
I've watched
Aries will
her-
ask if she's
You've
natty
seen
or
her
if that's like a
flip
body
people,
kit.
but
What'd you say, Aries?
Aries actually asked if she was natty or if it's like a body kit.
Bit of both.
yeah. Yes. Is the answer.
Hatter, I would look at Rem and say, what else? If we took the whole body, are you burying it? Or are you just taking the chipware after? What's happening?
Burying it's expensive.
Like, you don't have to owe me a favor. They're already dead. I'm not a good character. I'm saying it now.
No, that's fair. She'll think on it for a sec. Well, the
Sounds good.
plan was to cremate it, but reduce, reuse, recycle, I think was the old saying.
Always use. But other than that, so do you have a plan for us to barge in, or?
Sorry, I just read Foxen's note. I don't. I have it. I've only known about this for a couple of hours, and she'll like look at her, like, I guess Chiron in her head, and be like, I haven't had time to plan, and I have honestly been just trying to grasp the situation. So I need your help in that aspect as well. We just need to get in. I know that we need to get in to the morgue, get the chipware however we can, with the body, without the body, and then get out. The body will maybe be guarded, I'm not sure, but it is hopefully easy.
What's
I can't
the
promise that though.
tolerance for violence on this? If we meet resistance, are we planning on fighting, or is it more of a back off if trauma team gets involved?
If trauma team's here, I'm not fighting. If we
Yeah.
can't do this peacefully, I'm not dying today. I don't even have my weapons on me because of the hospital will just take them away.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do if trauma team's in there with weapons.
Yeah, trauma team is part of why the body's there. She'll explain like the basics of what she knows. Probably gotten from a either like a news source or like whatever the equivalent is of a scanner, like radio scanner.
Subterfuge it is. Several, check if we have any bodies in the morgue today. See if we have any Corpo Militech bodies that might
We don't.
give us a way in.
Called it. When you called and told me where I was coming, I saw if we had any entries or ins. No, we don't. We don't have much presence in Night City Medical Center. Boss, it's not ideal.
Shit. Well,
Is there any way I'd know if there was a maelstrommer stuck down there?
Doesn't appear to be the case. Yeah, they typically operate on their own.
Okay. I was assuming. But always trying to pitch it. Well, we definitely can convince people. I'm pretty persuasive to say the least. And cash loosens all pockets, so I feel like the easiest way to do this is to spend a bit more than I was planning to today, but I don't have any big purchases coming up, so your work is usually well worth thousands of eddies, so I understand.
I appreciate that. I have at most about 3,000 that I could throw at this.
I have, yeah, I understand. Me and Ares are good, but I will grease pockets because this is right outside of my area. This is like in Mox.
This is technically Moxtown, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we need to throw around,
kind of Tiger
It's like
Claws.
It's kind of like the Vatican of of Watson. Right?
Yeah. A lot of activity on this side of it. Yeah, you've got Tiger Claws, Mox, Maelstrom, a lot of other smaller gangs, like the Philharmonic Vampires, I believe, are present near here, and other small like ragtag. bozos occasionally show up in this region. Basically, the medical center is the best way to describe it. So, edge-runners aren't going to take people to the med center unless it's like last resort, or the person they're taking is like squeaky clean. So, like in the case of Rem, it was like, oh, we don't have anywhere to take her for this leg situation. And I think they took her to Red Tail, actually, not to the NCMC. So, like, even that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody's actually been here except for Reggie in the entirety of Dark Skies. So, with that said, most people who are arriving at A&E, most of the people who are arriving at trauma, either have corporate cards and insurance, or are so down on their luck that their like middle income or lower income job is going to basically blow them into the water of debt because their stomach is absolutely in pain from something they're probably drinking in their water. Like, you know, it's a depressing scene, but it's not too dissimilar from what we have in America. Except,
Yay!
you know, no, it is. It is. A lot of people don't have insurance, for sure, and it's being taken from them at every point. Sorry, this was a
small rant, but a good one.
rant.
I would look over at the other two and say, unless you guys have ulterior ways to get in, I feel like the best way is just to go in and pay our way to that body, or talk our way to that body if possible.
The morgue is definitely not public access, right? Like personnel
Right.
only.
Nobody gets down there unless they are taken an official means. Yep.
The morgue is probably in the lower areas of the building, correct?
Most likely.
So I'm seeing from the window here, the train, the N cart goes underneath the hospital. There may be access points within the station.
We could try that.
If that fails, perhaps we still may be able to pay our way in at that point. But
find the back door.
That's the only
door guy.
It's the only other option I see.
As Rocco finishes that statement, Victor hands you a data tablet, Ares. It appears to be the local schematics for the NCART. It does seem that there is an access point into the lower levels of the medical area. However, it does look like Arazaka security firm has installed kind of countermeasures for transgression off the tracks and into that location. So someone would have to be very skilled to be able to kind of get through those ES measures.
Good intuition there. There's access, but there's security measures put in by Arasaka will have to be overrided, or this will be over very soon. So unless we're confident at the little cybersecurity debugging, we have to take the public way.
It would be better if we had a netrunner, of course. I can get through the physical aspects of it, but there is things behind the veil that I am not as proficient in.
Well, then I feel like
I
the
couldn't get a hold of any.
is to go straight in the front door. I'm not going to shoot someone down when they just walk in.
Hopefully not.
Don't look suspicious. I'm the most suspicious one out of all of us. What do you mean? How many maelstromers do you think they've ever seen in this building?
Not many.
Exactly.
The only other thing I can think of is a distraction of some sort. If the hospital is on high alert but looking for other issues, then perhaps we might be able to slip through cracks. I have 3 individuals that I might be able to have caused trouble. Referencing the cult members, John.
I'm familiar.
Rem, you remember those guys?
The
Oh.
animals. Yeah.
The animals, yes. You want them to cause a distraction inside?
It's simply an option. I do not wish to sacrifice their lives, of course, but perhaps they could cause trouble, just be a nuisance at various points of access other than where we are going. Just a thought. Throwing Sketty at wall.
Since we have the schematics, do we know what sub-level the morgue is on, like,
Yeah.
specifically?
So you would know that it is on sub-level 5.
And what's the lowest level that, like, patient rooms are on?
Sub-level 3.
So we should be able to, in theory, be able to get at least to sub-level 3 just through public elevator. Even if we just say we're visiting someone, whatever. And then to get down below that, we'll most likely need to get through a physical door to a stairwell or hack the elevator, because I'm assuming we'll need keycard access to get below the visitor levels or like patient levels.
Right.
But Rocco said a physical door is easier for him than a digital one, so...
Well, as a
Oh,
note,
I mean,
as a note though, I just want to make sure the 3 levels on the bottom, you understand what they are, so you may kind of formulate a plan therein. The first subfloor is for pediatrics. The second subfloor, and this is low level pediatrics, not like ICU kind of stuff or like, anything crazy. Second sublevel underneath that is storage bay or storage area for pharmaceuticals, which are typically then cycled up through service elevators to top floors and also on tracks to other sections of the hospital. And then floor 3 is urology, men's reproductive and etc. health. Then it goes to floor 4, which is the pre-staging. This is where situationally, if someone is dying or is going to die, instead of having hospice care and if they have no visitors on their schedule, they are brought here and just left in this floor to just kind of unfortunately terminate. And then floor 5 is where the morgue goes. The morgue has access to the tracks as mentioned. Like, it's pretty close to the service elevator. It's kind of like far western side or far eastern side connects with the end card. And the reason why that is because there are secret trains that are taken out of trauma team with corpses of people who are uninsured and etc. And they are typically just taken out to the north side of industrial and then just shoved out into the Badlands. The train's out there, or the train runs up that way, and yeah, that's how that works.
Well, don't sound so down about it. It's called efficiency.
Well, Well, yeah, this is probably a point of order for you. It is probably the case that you are aware of these secret trains, Hatter, as you have caught them on their way north and have had deals with the conductors or deals with the people who are guarding the trains so that they sell you the stuff instead of it being kind of... because typically they'll remove cyberware of import and then throw them on the train. And they do so very kind of like shoddily, but the people don't care about the cyberware because they don't get any fucking cut on that. It all goes to trauma. So like if they miss 1 or 2 or 20 or whatever, it's no big deal to them. And also as a big callback, this was Buzzard's Connect back in the day. We never got to it, but it was referenced in episode 2 or 1 that he had a contact that was leaking bodies out of TT.
Atter, didn't we run with a Netrunner back on the job we did in Mega Building H5?
Yeah, I do remember them.
Somebody that might be able to help out here?
For no pay? She's
Well,
lucky she found us 3.
You just said that you had things at your disposal. I was just thinking of one.
I am willing to keep myself alive and keep someone who owes me a favor alive. I'm not paying outside of that.
I see.
I'm not a charity. I don't know what part of me. No, this out of character. It's fine. But in character, I don't know what part of me looks like a charity. But that's not how this works.
Patchwork jacket.
Hatter and Rocco, they did the one gig together.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I came out of the room and he had beaten somebody to death with his foot, and that was the last thing that I saw of Hatter since then.
He pays ahead of time. He pays more than the average, and he's a good fighter.
Yep.
These are the things we know.
And he deals with corpses. He is not
ashamed to talk about it either.
Who cares? Money's money. What do you mean?
I mean, ultimately, Hatter, I was just thinking, if we're raiding a morgue and getting a body and you deal in bodies, perhaps there is more compensation to be had.
I do love the way you're thinking. Genuinely, I do. But the issue here is I can't risk the connect I have with the train. I cannot risk having people come here randomly to pick up bodies outside of a morgue. And hopefully Trauma Team doesn't show up outside the door and gun them down silly. And then I have more bodies that I can't touch.
Trauma Team trains also run at night. So you would know that it's like ass crack of dawn kind of situation, so that they're less kind of noticed by the general public. Typically, moving a shit ton of corpses is not something people want to know about.
Yeah.
What? Crazy.
I would genuinely say that I think our best odds are just through the front door. I do not think we're going to see a lot of issues until we try to get to places we're not supposed to be. And when we start seeing those issues, we can talk to individuals on a case-by-case basis. A body in a closet with its badge taken away, or someone paid for their badge. It doesn't matter.
We just need to borrow it.
Exactly.
Servo will return. He disappeared for a while, and he kind of says, as far as just general entrances, the one that was suggested with the train, it looks like there might be a means of getting onto a nearby building. It looks like it has a lounge area up on its roof, and there might be a way to zip line across to the Trauma Team area directly above the morgue. The other locations, we could drive into the ER access for the ambulance and just barge our way through. Or we could fake someone being harmed and have them picked up by AV if they have insurance and go with them.
Ooh, you two could Rochambeau and get taken to urology. And then we'll go through a little.
Why does it have to be us?
Why not?
It's not.
You have a corporate card, don't you?
I'm in perfect health, though. They'll never believe it.
They'll never believe I have anything wrong with me. If you see the mask.
Look at this beautiful fine specimen. Oh, another fact that I want to kind of denote, Aries. You know, if you go the emergency room route or like the A&E route and you go in there, they're going to remove your helmet because you're not allowed to cloak your face while you're inside either.
Geez, I have to wait in the lobby?
Man, really earning that favor, I can see it.
Oh, no.
Just saying. If you go the direct route and you want to do the talking, the helmet has to go at some point.
Well, with that information, do you have an objection to the direct route, or are we doing building hopping?
If we go to where Trauma Team goes in, assume they go into they have an elevator on their landing pad, essentially?
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
Okay, so we would have to zip between buildings and then break through the security door and then
No.
get direct access.
So trauma team, you're not going onto the building where the trauma team goes in. It's not well outlined in this map. It is something that is also not really shown in the video game. But in the concept art, it's kind of the method I go for. See how the top of it is just like it looks like a helipad?
Mhm.
So it's like that, but in the mentality that I have it, and I think I posted this in the pictures that I posted. And this is not the section you'd be jumping onto, by the way. This is just in reference. Here, I'm going to post this so people can see what I'm talking about here. So if you look at the top of the building, you see how it has like a small little kind of grouping of buildings and like a air control area and the like. So my Dark Skies version of Night City's medical center, the AV landing pad for emergency services is on top. It is 100% on top. There's also an emergency room area inside the middle there. See how the bridge or the highway kind of goes through into the building and then goes out the back in a number of different chutes?
Yep.
They all go inside, and there is a specific turnoff for EMT vehicles so that when they are on that highway, they can basically, they're throwing, reds and blues, and then they can go straight to that like off ramp and enter into the hospital's EMT receiving area. So they have a second section there, and then accident and emergency is on the ground floor. If you're looking at this map, directly above it, you can see the rail line kind of going straight into it, and there are a couple of like pillars, kind of like columns. There's a drive up, kind of like it's almost like an airport, right? You can drive up, drop people off, and then drive off, and then there's security guards who are telling people to fuck off and not stay parked for very long. And those people are going into A&E, and effectively it's like the emergency room, but it's more kind of like when you walk into the emergency room, not when you're brought there by emergency vehicle. Make sense?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's up to you, Rem. Whatever you decide, we'll go with. That's why we're here.
Is direct route or shenanigans?
I believe there's going to be shenanigans either way. It's just whether it's on both ways or both ways.
They're just different flavors.
I am 100% certain no matter what craziness spills forth from any of your mouths, I am ready for it. I just want to make sure that that's the case. Again, the cooler, the rule of cooler, the better. So again, just however you want to go. And again, she did hire a guy who was very distinctly upset about a job not having planning, a guy who gets paid to plan jobs, and a guy who works for a corporation to plan jobs. So she kind of, I think she's mainly like, I'm not the guy, right? Like, I'm not the planner. Unless you want to say, fuck it, and we're doing what I say.
Ooh, what if we go to the storage thing and then we dress up as a trauma team, but not like a military trauma team, but like we're gonna go do surgery,
Yeah, the Maelstrommer's
Well-
really gonna blend in, no matter what we do to him, unless you're like plastering my face in makeup.
He can get you in full scrubs and a mask.
You
We'll do
you
the
could be
Dr.
the
House
patient.
thing.
Or yeah, or the patient.
My legs are detachable.
Rem would probably know the uniforms, correct?
You would know them, but like acquiring them is not a thing you can just do. Yeah, that's
Right, yeah. But if we were able to find them, she would be able to
Yeah, I will let you
dress
know
someone up in them.
when it comes to that. It's wardrobe and style. So if you're confident in your abilities to make that skill check, absolutely.
The classic wait in a hallway, pull people into a closet.
It's in social, and there's no way most of you have any points in it.
I have 12. I'm
What the hell?
over with it.
4 rings. I think
Yep.
that Ares also has wardrobe and style.
Yeah, I got a 17 in wardrobe and style.
Yeah, I expected you to have it. I didn't expect the fighter to have it at
Hey,
all.
I want to look like a doctor.
Did
I'll be
you
a doctor.
see her killer look?
Yeah, she's done some pretty slick
Sweater.
She is killing while killing it.
A slight
There's a
bleed.
reason you didn't notice any of her physique because of that sweater, that style, right?
Yeah. She was too busy styling on you.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't because the person who drew it did terribly the first go around.
Yeah, I have absolutely nothing in wardrobe and style.
Yeah, I have 8 points in total. I was like, it's not going to
Or
work for me. Yeah, see, that's why I was like, 2 of us are not going to work with this.
You like
See,
machines.
this is back to my original thing. You guys, one of you, break your nuts. I'm the urology doctor. She's the assistant urology doctor. Take you to urology. It's us real close to
Oh, urology doctor.
myology, urology, what?
The rippers. Do you ask about urology and what it is?
Rocco is basically like, tell me more about urology. I don't recognize. But it kind of has a cheeky smile, as in he definitely knows what you're talking about.
If we want to try Goofball's plan, sure. And I'd be staring down the corpo, being like, a doctor. That's what you're going to be, a doctor in a gold mask.
The
Oh
helmet.
man, walking through the front door. Crazy idea. What if I was a doctor wearing a Roman helmet? You think they would know that one of their doctors does this normally? It's all fine.
Yeah, flicks a dart on the road. Oh, we were just throwing spaghetti at walls.
Yes, my doctor, his personal bodyguard, his personal tech, and his other personal bodyguard. That's what it is. All of them for
Very
me.
good doctor.
I love that he like turns sideways, side profile of the helmet, flicks the cigarette, smoke just billows out. I thought we were just throwing spaghetti at walls. Oh, this is it's such a cool scene.
I
He took
see.
my line.
I see no harm trying just going in the front door to start. If that's too crazy of an idea just to try to do it normally for the most part, I understand. And I'm game for anything. If you tell me I need to be an actor today and I need to have my nuts hurt, that's fine. We can try it. But I would like to just walk in the front door and see if we can get down low enough first.
We can certainly try that to start.
Are you afraid of a receptionist? I've watched you kill people.
I'm not.
Also watched her run underneath a machine turret, so like I have a high level of regards for this person's ability, and they're just over here going like, yeah, maybe I am just a nurse today.
So are you going in? And are you going into A&E? You're not taking any special ways in? You're just going straight in the front door? Scoping it out?
I'll go in myself at this point if need be.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
just ask if I can go down.
So when you enter in, the first thing that's going to happen is you walk through a scanning device, and basically you would hear kind of multiple clicks kind of shutting off your combat cyberware. Now, I want to make sure you understand. Combat cyberware is anything that can be utilized in combat or be used to do something that is strictly combative or seen as a combat maneuver. So your jump boosters are not active in your legs. The neuroport, that's fine. Your HUD, targeting scope, all of that stuff is fine. But
I
if you
use my
have,
talon feet to cut apples. What do you mean?
yeah, right. The talon feet are they can't be deactivated. However, the actuators for using them to like actually cut, those are not working. So like a lot of the things that are kind of present on your person are immediately just shut off, and you realize that it's only while you're in the field, and it's like a jammer. It's something that's kind of buffering it. You can technically get around that, but it will require a tech roll, specifically the cyberware tech roll, or cyber tech, or it will require or it would require a Netrunner. The jaw would not lock up, to answer your question, Tyler. The jaw would not be able to use its actuators to become a jaw that crushes. Because obviously, you talking is different than you slamming your teeth down on something. These are two different mechanical functions in the same piece
Like,
of cyberware.
I can still judo.
Yeah,
They
right.
can't turn that off.
But if she had a skill chip for judo, she'd be boned. Because the skill chip is a combat cyberware.
What about a
Yeah.
reflex processor?
Reflex coprocessors are done. They do not work.
Okay, so even like things that are specifically like defensive.
Defensive. Anything that is considered combat cyberware is shut off if it is used in a fight.
This is why I wanted to do it the most straightforward way, because we can't fight. We can't. If we get caught, we're dead.
And just
like if we can't talk our way out of it, we're just toasted here, and that's not what I want to do today.
A quick note on that too is the precedent for this. I just want to make sure people who kind of like are aware of Cyberpunk 2077 and the lore. There are a couple of locations where when you enter into them, weapons can't be utilized. You can't really do quick hacks or anything. You kind of drop from that specific kind of function. And in game, they actually give you a point beat where that happens. And the only place that I can think of that tells you it's happening to you is NSX, or NCX, which is the airport. When you go to the airport, they shut you off the second you start crossing that bridge. So similarly, the medical center, in my opinion, would be a place that has that as well.
Makes sense.
So they'd also have a security guard come up to you, and this security guard looks like a TSA agent, but in like an aquamarine color instead of like a bright, vibrant blue. And he looks at Ares and he says, "I'm sorry, sir, the helmet's going to have to come off. And any weapons will need to be acknowledged by Wand," and kind of just gestures at you with his...
Can I get a COVID mask, please?
Of course, if you need a
hospital?
mask. COVID wasn't a thing in Night City. Again,
I get an N95, please.
it would be a bird flu mask, because that happened about a decade or two ago, and it's a big notice and something they would have worn masks for. So yeah, he gets you a mask.
Can I also get like a disposable cap? I have terrible lice.
Of course, we have those. Do you very quickly kind of like put that on while you're wearing the helmet, and then take the helmet?
I get my associates will kind of like block me as I kind of like tilt my head down and.
Yeah. What you will recognize is that even though the mask is on and so is the hat, you are not blocked from scans now. The helmet is off. So the people who are with you, may not be aware of who you are and all of the details, but Trauma Team is aware you're here.
Yeah, well, Trauma Team's a big enough corporation. I assume they would know like my government name and stuff, like
Yes.
as between corporate.
And they're technically on good terms with Militech. They're just not so much in Night City.
When my shit was turned off, so was my like Vic Jammer and stuff, is that considered combat, or like if recordings are still fuzzing
so
me
anything that would be buzzing out your identity, that's also going to get kicked too.
Alright, and then just because I know we're going to be doing a lot of talk, I will ask about like my voice stress analyzer and stuff.
That is not a combat. That is not combat related.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'm good to go then.
Yeah.
Can I make a
Do you have to
stupid
hand over
try?
our weapons, or they just want to be aware of them?
So when you acknowledge your weapons, basically what will be done is they will be placing a kind of trigger lock on it. And they say the trigger lock will fall off once you're outside of the premises. Out of character pick lock roll, electronic security roll, or just brute force can be used to remove the trigger lock.
That's the first time picklock has ever come up, or maybe the second.
It's come up a few times.
Never with Bucket, and I'm so sad.
Rem
Um,
would slide them her heavy pistol, and
Yeah.
because she just carries that on her,
Yeah, they put a trigger lock on it.
she puts it away.
Adder would just look at him and be like, "I don't have anything." I would just like do my. I'm male. He could see the cyberware, so I'd like roll up my sleeves a bit for him if need be. But
Yeah,
like,
they don't
I
care.
genuinely don't have weapons.
You walk through scans. That again, you're fine.
Okay.
They would acknowledge you don't have any weaponry. It's not a physical search. They definitely magnetic scanned you. There are a couple of weapons that have been made for dark skies that would be able to get through this process, but nobody has them. So,
Quick question:
yeah, fire.
can I ask the guy to see his badge?
Sure. Yeah, he'd show it to you.
And I said, I would ask, what happens if you lose it?
He doesn't hand it to you. He just shows it to you, and he says,
Oh, I know.
I'd request to get another one from HR.
And how much? Just to say, how much would that cost you? Let's say,
It's
I don't know, if you lost it and it was 1,000 eddies.
Real quick, it's kind of like a busy area, and now that you're kind of standing
Yeah.
with this guy, you're kind of holding up traffic, and he kind of goes, "Look, I don't have time for this. Come on, move on."
Okay. I was
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah,
That's fine.
you see him kind of like look at you strangely, but he doesn't seem to. He's not going to register the event or care. But as you're kind of entering into the space, you would see that there's like a bunch of seating. There's a couple of glass panels where there are secretaries kind of present behind those glass panels. Looks like occasionally a nurse will walk past and like pick up a chart or pick up a tablet rather from these individuals, then come out the side door and then yell a name across the way, like it's like Steven? And then this person goes, oh yeah, and kind of gets up and like heads over with that person. Typical of an ER kind of situation. Again, the place is packed, and then it says new admits here, and you'd see that there's one specific like booth. It's like a combination of like an ER and a BMV. Like it's literally hell on earth. You are in the worst place that could possibly be imagined.
That tracks.
But with the kind of kerfuffle and like the mass of people, there's the occasion where you kind of hear people like get a little bit boisterous and becoming irritated. I'm bleeding out of my fucking leg, man. Somebody needs to help me.
Like a clock with an estimated wait time or anything?
No, there is no clock to tell you how long you're waiting. That would give you hope, and that can't exist here.
So
there-
how on the
tells you what number?
pass-throughs- Oh,
Sorry. What was your question, Steve?
I was gonna say, like, is there something like a deli where it says like now serving number whatever?
No. A person comes out, yells your name, you go with them. If you're not receiving the name, you are presumed dead on scene. Yep. Like I said, it is like the BMV and an ER waiting room combined as one, and it is actually hell on earth.
how close can I get to a nurse?
Yeah, so there's a couple that are walking around, and they have tablets. For the new people, like you can see them kind of walking over and handing them a tablet and saying, just fill out all your paperwork here and we'll make sure to get it back to the representatives back there. Fill it out as quick as you can, and then go ahead and hit that red button on the bottom and get somebody over to you, okay? And then kind of walks away. But yeah, you're able to kind of, I mean, again, you could...
Are they doing like what we have nurses now, which is like their badges are like pinned on them or like yellow clip or
Sure.
what are we looking at?
They're wearing kind of like pretty typical candy striper attire. Like they've got like the short, semi-short skirts and kind of like they look like they're very pleasant and individuals who are kind of out there. Again, corporations privatizing medicine to a degree where you effectively have a hostess slash waitress slash stewardess being like forced into a role of medical like individual. So yeah, it is very much that, and yeah, it's probably pinned either to the skirt or up like around the chest area, since that's where people are kind of designed to look based on the outfit.
Anyway, I can pickpocket one
Sure.
as they're just walking by.
I would say that the male nurses are probably going to be easier to pickpocket. It seems that they keep their badges close to their crotchal area for whatever reasons. But again, idiocracy in your head. Obviously, these people are supposed to be very attractive and forward-facing to hopefully assuage the very angry people into not picking a fight with them. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll pickpocket, I'm going to go ahead and set the DV at 15. I think it's kind of you're taking something that's relatively important to a person and kind of clipped on there pretty good. So
Let's use
you
one
want
point
you
of
want
luck
help?
from my.
If you have
Yeah.
a mark, maybe one of us can distract, like each of the
assist,
person.
assistance can be thrown out. That's absolutely fine. If you're going to try and do a distraction, I'm going to need you to make a roll.
Maybe like not like get their attention. It'll be more like, hey man, like what's the wait time, man? Like what for someone like me? Like what's the wait time? Come on,
Yeah,
kind
I
of like
get you.
flash my screen.
You're trying to kind of talk them into not paying attention. You're trying to persuade them into kind of telling you some sort of information. You're trying to relate with them on a personal level. So go ahead and make a persuasion roll. So here's the thing on the persuasion roll. If you get a DV 17, flawless, no problems, but also you get the information that you were trying to get, like wait time or whatever, um, if you get a DV 11, you are assisting, and that will give that will give Hatter a +1 to his roll.
My luck. I already said I spent one, so.
Yeah, and again, anybody else can chip in luck as well. I don't think Rem
I have
has any.
0.
But if
I don't think
anybody
we'll
else-
need much more. I think
Okay,
unless I
roll.
roll absolutely god awful.
I believe in you. I believe you don't even need that luck.
Let's get that persuasion.
Okay.
21.
Yeah. So the wait time's pretty heavy actually right now. If you've got an insurance card, I can kind of fast track you. Yeah, silver a little bit faster. If you don't have insurance though, or you have a non-trauma insurance, it's going to be probably about an hour. 2 hours. And if you have insurance, we could do 30 minutes for silver probably right now if you've got the premium package.
Shit. Hour.
Would you like an insurance form to fill out an insurance and get an insurance card?
No. Just tell me where I can get like a cup of coffee or something in here.
Points across the street to the bucket slice you just came from.
It's not like a cafeteria or something.
Fuck no.
It's,
I don't want people
all right.
waiting around here.
I won't hold you up there.
Pickpocket, you had +2, one from the help, one from the luck. So 17.
I already rolled it.
Yeah.
18 in total now.
18,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect. Then that's exactly what you'll. Or 15 was what you needed. But yeah, snatch it from that guy who Ares was talking to. You have a badge. You look down at it, and it says the name of the individual is Tex Carter. And yeah, it's the same guy's face. Like he's kind of like he's like Marky Mark handsome. Like it's kind of just like rugged, boyish charm. Who might have murdered.
You heard that
people,
name in.
I know,
or beaten
right?
people because of their ethnicity. That kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like
You gonna throw down a cardboard square next for us? What's happening?
and the Funky Bunch. So you have his badge. You're pretty sure that gives you clearance at least into the nurse's room. You don't know how far out it'll get you from there. According to the tag, when you kind of like move away from him and get a chance to like look at it without anybody kind of seeing, it says that it's level 2 clearance.
I feel like they should let the lessers into the morgue.
In my tech bag, would I be able to?
Real quick.
No, I don't have my tech bag. Do I? No.
You have your tech arm, which means you do have
Yeah.
your tools. You could fuck around with stuff. But
Okay.
before that happens, sorry, there's a beat I needed to meet before Hatter. You're not technically sitting down. You're just kind of looking at it real quick once you have it and kind of slipping it away. I would like everybody to roll a d10.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
Right in the middle.
So, as you're kind of like moving with that and kind of like keeping your position, you kind of are trying to kind of keep clear of everybody, right? You're not trying to get in contact with anybody. You would see that you're trying to find a spot to kind of like sit and kind of become innocuous and like unseen. But the section that you have taken up inside of the A&E kind of waiting room area is completely full up. It's like jam-packed with people, and there's like a line that seems to be funneling in straight towards this one specific nurse's station. And that nurse's station says customer service. So you're kind of in this just mess of people, and you're kind of locked into that position. Go ahead and make me a athletics roll.
All of us, or
Just you, Hatter. You're able to kind of push people away and kind of mosh your way out of this situation, and you're not kind of like forced into the line, and you kind of just move the fuck away from all of that and try and find a different seat. Meanwhile, Rem and Rocco, you weren't in Operation Steal Badge from Guy. As you were kind of like trying to kind of get over to your crew, the two of you are both kind of like blocked by these 3 very large gongs that are just like absolutely beaten and bloodied, but even despite that, like just the size of them is really intimidating. And they are kind of standing in between these 2 sets of chairs, like 2 rows of chairs, and are literally blocking your way of kind of getting around them without jumping over people. You can either just kind of deal with that and be broken away for the rest of your group, or if you'd like, you can try and face down them to kind of like get them to clear the fuck out. If you're not familiar with a face down, we will discuss how it works. It's very cool.
that'd be my first one.
Yeah.
also
I don't
fun.
think I've seen it come up before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard you mention a face down, but
So face downs are typically made like during combat, or at the beginning of combat to kind of affect how the people are responding to you in the midst of combat. You're going to roll a reputation plus cool plus 1d10 roll. So you're going to roll a d10 and you're going to add your specific reputation to the roll. If you do not have a reputation that is specifically kind of Watson based, then you will just take half of your roll rank, rounded up or rounded down, and you will then add that as your reputation instead.
okay.
So roll a d10, add your cool stat plus your rep.
So I don't have any reputation listed.
Right, so you're going to do half your roll rank rounded down.
4.
What's your cool?
6.
So you're at 10. And then what's your reputation or half your roll rank?
Where's reputation? Down here. I only have reputation with Valentino's.
I say that's fair. That'll work. What's your rep with Valentino's at?
It is at 4.
Okay, that's probably higher than your other stat. So then, okay, more than enough. And then with your roll, that is, again, it'll round down, so it'll be 8. That will be a failure for Rocco. You've succeeded by enough that you're able to stare down all 3 and kind of get them all the fuck off. And Rocco, you're able to kind of see that situation and kind of like, I'm with her kind of deal. Like
Yeah.
as you kind of like muscle in.
Yeah!
The two of
That
you,
one with the guns!
the two of you are able to get past them and get over to your crew again. And then Ares, you rolled a 4. The situation for you is somebody immediately slams into you. I need you to go ahead and make your choice. You need to decide which of these 2 you want to roll, and it'll determine what happens next. You can either one of these 3 rolls. You can either make an athletics roll, a dance roll, or a perception perception roll. Your choice.
Wait, what? Should do perception, but I need to check what my dance is.
Start doing the tango in the middle of the ER.
What's dance under?
Dance would be under performance. I believe it's the only thing besides play instrument that's in there.
Oh no, I only have acting.
I only have acting in there too.
Oh, then it's under body. It's under body.
Okay, no.
It's the third one.
Definitely not dancing. I only have a 6 in dance.
You don't want to use all your luck to dance through this situation? Come on.
Again, the
Well,
choice
so-
that you make, it's either going to be perception, athletics, or dance. And depending on what you choose, depends on what happens next. Okay. The guy slams into you hard. You feel, and it's a very light touch, his hand go into your pants pocket. You immediately kind of brusque him aside and push him away, and you realize he was reaching into your wallet pocket. Like he was going for your available cash.
Can I give Victra like some eyes to have her like grab this dude's arm?
Yeah,
Be like,
if you want her to take him out, that's absolutely fine. She'll take him outside.
it's more just like a grab his arm, bended things. Like, did he manage to grab anything, or is like he was just going
No,
for
he
it?
almost got it, but you caught him way faster than he was able to get it.
I'll just have her grab him, almost kind of like full Nelson him, and just tell him to like fuck off or something.
Yeah,
Like,
she'll drag him toward the door, and you'll see security very concerned at first, and he kind of like starts to peep up, and she kind of like pushes down on him, which kind of silences him the way she's bent his neck, and she takes him outside. Victor will be gone for a bit, but not entirely, but she'll deal with him. Okay,
Just gotta
you're,
Yeah,
wrap
she
him
will.
up.
you are
My
not
homegirl.
barred from like in that space. You're not barred from kind of getting with your crew. Effectually, you have removed your one of your sidekicks for a moment, but in that beat, Bronco and Hatter, you're able to kind of connect and see the badge that you have, and you're able to look at it without anybody kind of noticing that you have it. Um, what are we doing?
I'd like to copy the badge, make a copy for each of us.
Okay, so what you'll note is that it is proprietary tech. It's basically a radio frequency identification card. It very specifically will not be something you'll be able to duplicate without the actual carts that they are utilizing. So you'd need a blank. You can't even reproduce the signal without the actual
Yeah.
device.
Okay.
So
I feel we all can fit through the door with one of us holding it, so.
Yeah, I'll tell Hatter what I can do once we get in. We just need to locate an access point. So I'll look around through the crowd of people, see what I can see.
Yeah. So as far as access points to the next kind of section of the space, you have plenty of nurse entry points, and it looks like patients are going that way. They're being taken into kind of small little waiting rooms and kind of like spots. If you've ever been to the ER before, which I'm assuming everybody here has been, either for themselves or someone else, it's basically like take you back. They put you in a room. They do a bevy of tests, which they'll charge you for, and then they tell you nothing's wrong, or they put a band-aid on whatever orifice you're bleeding out of.
So that's what an ER is like.
In real life and in Cyberpunk.
I've never been.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's bad.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Focusing up. It's probably not so bad in other countries, right, Steve?
yeah, sucks.
Okay, ER sucks no matter where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, you can get through. The main thing to note is obviously there are security guards stationed here that are wanding and kind of like making sure people are going in, and also making sure people don't rush the glass or break through the doors. So the kind of area you're going for, there definitely does need to be some sort of distraction or something kind of effectuated for all of you four to be able to get through without issue. You'll either be caught out like on the other side by a nurse without a distraction, and they'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing back here?" And then they'll call like big security, or you'll be caught out by security on the outside, and then they'll call big security.
And there's no like elevators
Not that you can see.
to the other floors.
Yeah, not that you can see. They're probably in the nurses section.
Right. Would that have been on the schematics that Ares had been able to get?
You didn't get the full
or-
schematics. It was basically mostly just the exterior and kind of floor purpose.
Okay.
And
That
yeah,
sounds-
a lot of kind of what's on site here is probably proprietary anyways, trauma team. And since they're working with Arasaka, that wouldn't be clear information. But because like the
Right.
subway stuff and where stuff is located is night city security, it's kind of good to know like, where corpses are being held just in case like there's an outbreak or something. Those are kind of more, that's information Militech would be able to glean.
Right. That makes sense. I suppose we need to create another distraction.
Um, Aries, you Will you be bringing your people with us, or is it just the four of us going inside?
No, several from my other associate, several the boy. We'll have him wait here in case we get made. He'll be able to send a message if once we're past kind of the point of no return. That way, at least might buy us a few minutes that we can react. If Victor gets back before our window closes, because we're trying to get through a security door right now without being seen.
Yeah.
If she gets back before that opportunity closes, if we have to go, then no, she'll just stay. But if she's back, then she'll come because she's kind of. If you haven't noticed, she's kind of like my muscle, my very lack of muscles.
Could get you lifting.
Just as you're kind of finishing that sentence and having that kind of maybe we'll get you lifting, the large line that I mentioned that was being kind of obscuratory to I believe it was Hatter, who moshed his way through it with no problem. There's a fight towards the front of the line. It seems somebody was trying to skip somebody who was kind of like third place in line, and they start kind of just punching at each other. About 4 security guards start rushing the scene, and you would see that the glass of the nurse station actually avails itself of to what it actually is. These are crystal dome panels, and they all just turn off. They are nothing but sheet metal. And in this moment, you can see that it looks like pretty much all the security guards close to the doors that would be kind of connected to that nurse's station are no longer in. They're in the throng of people. They can no longer see that door.
I suppose no time like the present.
Okay.
Rocco begins moving.
Does anybody have movement 5 or less? Or are you all over 5?
Mine is 6.
I am a 5.
You are a 5. Okay. So Aries, you are not as quick as the others, so you kind of have to keep up. You have to move through the back end of the crowd to get around it. I need you to make an athletics roll. DD's 9. Okay. You manage to kind of push your way through, and you get to the door. Once you get there, badge, click, opens. If you're going in, you're going in. But I need you to hear you say it because I don't want to be the one who forces you to do it.
I'm in.
Rocco goes in. Hatter goes in. Rem goes in. Aries?
Yep.
Okay.
Bringing up the rear.
Once you enter in, you'll see that the nurses are currently in the station, and it looks like they are, they've got like an old style kind of like, well, they wouldn't have a phone, but they've got an old style kind of like data tab up. It seems that they're punching some things on it, and their eyes are kind of glowing as if they're on a holo call, and they're kind of yelling into the air as if they're talking to security. I don't know what the fuck's going on down here. They're beating each other up. We need security down here. Stat! And then in that situation, you can see that there are 2 pathways out of this area that are not into another nurse's station. It looks like there's a path that leads to a series of 6 elevators, and then there is a side passage to the right of that looks like it leads to kind of like a locker room.
Elevators?
The locker room. Which, in my intuition for tech, where would such a thing to reprogram a card be, or to copy a card?
Oh, yeah. You're not going to copy a card here. It'd be at HR.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, so HR wouldn't be present in the building. It'd be on a higher floor or some shit.
Yeah, it's probably on the outside buildings that are closer to the highway on the south.
Okay, copy that. All right, yeah, elevator sounds good to me.
Wait, did you say there was lockers?
There's a locker
lockers
room.
could be costumes for sure, but
yeah,
if
uniforms.
You are correct.
Do you head over there?
Yes.
If you go to the locker room, it is pretty much empty except for one guy who's currently sleeping on a bench. He looks like one of the nurses that would have been out there. He's wearing kind of the sexy nurse attires, but for men. Arms are showing, and he's kind of got one of those really crappy looking kind of pillows. And he's kind of got it situated on his face. Sleeping.
He's McDreamy.
He's McDreamy. If you wish to interact with him or in any way kind of like deal with him, it will require a stealth roll. But if you are just searching the locker, no roll is necessary. If you're just looking for outfits, you can find them without issue. Very similar to the nurses who are outside. Looks like these locker rooms are specifically for the nurses on site.
No lab coats though?
No lab coats, no doctors here, no. This is all nurse.
You fancy.
Would Rem know with like her somewhat knowledge of trauma team and probably the hospital at least a little bit with her background, would she know if these nurses are also like show up on other levels as well
Yeah.
in this uniform?
So let me
Okay.
address it. Like I want to make sure it's very clear what the front-facing nurse's purpose is in the corporation. Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like our typical hospital structure, they like overriding people with a bunch of duties, right? So
Yeah.
not only are you the nurse, you're also the customer service representative. You're also but in a corporation, like
Yeah.
not a medical corporation, that's not a cost-saving method. I can pay the doctor less if all they do is doctor. And then I can pay somebody insanely low money to be a customer service representative, to answer phones and to deal with that bullshit. So those people, the people who you are currently kind of dealing with, have minor training in like CPR, first aid, some paramedic. But these are people who are basically going to be telling you have cancer, or someone telling you that unfortunately the Mr. Stud unit you have is causing you to die of gonorrhea, right? Like these are things that are going to be like relayed to you by a charming person who is underpaid.
Right. Okay. But they are found on other levels of the hospital.
Yeah, they send them all over.
Not just in the waiting room.
Correct.
Okay.
So
it's like putting on the blue scrubs at a hospital.
If you think about it like the body of a person, and these are like blood cells inside of it, effectively the clot of these things is kind of the emergency room. This is where they concentrate.
Okay.
Are we going undercover?
I think so.
Okay. So wardrobe and style, if you want to dress somebody else up, you can go ahead and make that roll. And I will state, Aries, if you leave the mask and hat on, you will receive a -3 to the roll. Period. As we've discussed, these people do not walk around with masks and hats.
Let's go.
Do you wish to dress your compatriots? Oh, it looks like he's just doing it himself. Okay, you look suitable.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you look suitable. Despite the huge mechanic legs, like you definitely charm it up. Like you throw the hair back a little bit. You kind of put a little bit of makeup on. Yeah, you got cyberware, but you definitely look as handsome as Hatter can. For sure. Aries, you do not give a fuck. The hat and the mask stay on. And
I am a doctor.
Rocco, are you gonna give it a go, or are you gonna have someone else do it?
Either somebody else can do it, or I can be the patient, I guess. Either way. Would
he take my role or would I have to
You would
roll
roll
for
again.
him?
Yeah, you're rolling for another person.
Ooh, can I?
What do you think?
Can I help?
I don't usually dress up.
You can do it.
Yeah, you would be better than I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
She would help Aries. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, Rocker's like, I guess I should dress up, and he's like reaching for the women's outfits, and you're like, no.
They straight give you just a fashion like makeover.
You can't pull the scrub over your work shirt. It doesn't. I'll take the one board off first.
All right, let's see if we can't. Okay, and then
Nice.
you need an 11 for the help if you want to throw it on there.
Yeah, I'll try.
Sure, you got
18.
it.
Let's
So
go.
after about 5 or so
You
minutes,
look perfect.
Rocco, you have makeup on. Like you definitely look like your hair has been done up. You definitely look like you have been kind of made to look the part. But yeah,
It's good because if we somehow get roped into actual surgery, he's probably the only one with a ghost chance not killing someone under the knife.
I don't know.
I'll tell you the same thing I told Mars. I work on tech, not bodies. Go ahead, John.
No, I didn't have anything, but basically the same. Yeah. Um. Okay, so once you've got situated, where you go next?
Elevators?
Okay. So there are a total of 6 elevators. One of them appears to have a wider entry door than the others. This appears to be a service elevator. So basically, this would be utilized for large pallets and kind of moving very large, high purpose material. The other elevators are also wider doors than normal elevator doors. And you would know that that's because they are going to be wheeling in things like gurneys and the like. You're going to be moving with a crew, possibly, of people. So slightly bigger than a typical elevator, but still not as big as the service side one.
Are there any available gurneys that are empty?
Yeah.
I'll take one and wheel it along with me.
When you get close to the doors, Hatter, you have the card. What you'll notice is that some still have access denied as kind of the flag. There are 2 on the far right side that do not have that as you're approaching them. It looks like they are just general use elevators. But all of the elevators besides, except for one, say access denied when you walk towards them. So you have a total of 3 elevators, the 2 on the far right and the 1 in the middle.
I know I want to go for the one in the middle.
Can I see from the readers up above what floors they go to at all?
So you can only see what floors they go into once you're inside. And
got it.
And these ones, they don't have the readers up top.
If there's no objections, I'm going in the middle one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You enter in. Nobody's in there with you. Doors close. Once they close and you kind of are near the elevator access key, just like in a mega building or anywhere else, your access is determined by your identification. And what you will note is you have access to the first 3 sublevels, and you have access to the first 25 floors above you.
That's annoying. Guess we'll go down to floor 3.
Sorry, first 15 floors above you. Sorry, there's only 25 floors on this side of the space.
I don't think that's
he's in there alone currently, right?
You're all in there. You went in.
Okay. Is there? Well, you said he goes in and the doors immediately close it behind him.
No,
so...
I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I said you guys go in, and then the doors close behind you. You're all alone in there.
Is it something I can change the access level or like change where the elevator goes, like trick it to think it's going to?
So that would require an electronic security roll on the device. And looking at it, looking at the technology here, I'm going to give you 2 notes, and then you can decide whether or not you want to try it. This is a very difficult Arasaka security terminal. It will require a DV of 19 to break on electronic security. Secondly, if you do not succeed by any metric, it will be alerted, and you're pretty sure that the security detail will be alerted immediately. So those are the 2 things to take into account before you roll.
I have 16 for electronics, so I'd need 3 or better, or 4 or better. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
If you got luck.
Anybody want to chip in?
I would love to, but I have no luck.
I have 2, and I'm gonna keep them.
If he fails and we get made, that's pretty bad. So I'll throw 1.
Okay.
I'll throw in 1 as well.
You need a 2 or better, which means anything but a 1.
All right. I like those odds.
Okay. So you kind of tool hand you kind of, or tool arm, you kind of pull, extract a device, pop it open. Inside, you kind of start maneuvering it. What you don't take into account is as you're working on it, the elevator starts to move. It seems that someone has called the elevator. You're able to gain control of it, and when you close it, what you'll notice is that this elevator's full track goes to the roof and to the third floor. It does not go lower, or third sublevel. It does not go lower than the third sublevel.
Okay.
Quite rude.
All right. Third floor it is.
Okay, so when you hit it, what you'll notice is you are already on an ascent track. You are heading up to the 13th floor. Now, if you wish to stop before then and get off, you can. Otherwise, you're going to go up to the 13th floor, and if they're going, it looks like they're calling for down, so they'll be going down to some level below you, but you'll have to deal with a person for a short time.
And I can't override it at all. Or cancel that request.
Unfortunately, without rising suspicion, no.
Yeah. Yeah, my instincts would tell me that would be worse. We can get out, or we can deal with whoever is called the elevator. We can make it look like it's full. I would say
up then back down.
Yeah, so somebody yells at somebody that, why didn't you press the button or something like that.
I suppose we could bicker.
Looks like good. I don't see that being a bad plan. We all look good. We're dressed. Some of us dressed each other.
Based on the schematics, the floor we're going to, do we know what department it is, or like what surgical
Urology.
floor?
Urology.
Right?
No, we're going to urology. Where are we going up to?
Oh, 13th. Again, you don't have the tablet, and it wouldn't have been something you would have checked.
Okay, because I was going to say we could use that to make our story more believable. Like I said, urology, not oncology.
You could say that. Maybe that'll work.
Maybe.
I think bickering.
I say we deal with them.
No one clicked the button in time is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you'll note, sorry, that is actually a very funny point, and I'm going to give you a bit on that. So when it does show the display, it does show what the floor is listed as, like a mega building. So yeah, I would say the 13th floor is pathology, so blood work.
There you go. It's urology, not pathology.
Okay. So when you get there, the door opens, and you see a woman with a wheelchair. In the wheelchair is a probably 17 or 18-year-old kid, and just looks like he's bruised up. Looks like he went through a car accident, and you can see that he has the kind of telltale like blood work shit kind of on his arm, like they bandaged him up after blood work. And you do the line.
Yeah, I'll say I'll like look to who's closest to the elevator. I guess it would be Rocco, right?
Yeah, I'd be rocking.
'Cause he was
just fucking with
yeah,
him.
Come on, man! I said urology, not pathology. Let's go.
Oh,
Well, if we would click the button on time.
You would. She comes in, occupies the space kind of like in the back right corner away from you guys, but seems to smile at that, but not really take it into account. She appears to be dressed similarly to Rem. Assuming you put on the nurse's outfit, again, it's the same kind of fit she's wearing, and everybody else is wearing the hunky boy version of the outfit as well. So the elevator starts to descend. She requests of Rocco, can you please press 1?
pushes the button.
Okay, roll a d10 for me.
This is why you can't do good deeds. You gotta roll surprise rolls.
Okay. So you didn't roll a 10, so she's not going to acknowledge, she doesn't notice the fact that you have access to all floors when you do that. It seems to just miss her, and she doesn't even notice that, that's a thing. And she gets off on floor 1 with her patient. She kind of goes back the same way you came, like towards the same nurse's station.
Nice.
It's -3.
When you get there, you see somebody like standing outside, another nurse, and he kind of looks at you and says, "You going up?"
Down.
Oh, okay, I'll wait. and then the door shuts, and you head down to urology. Door opens, and the rest of the facility so far that you've seen, crisp paneling, plastic paneling on all the walls, magnificently cleaned, perfectly detailed in all of the corners and crevasses. Everything smooth and orderly once you got past that wall. Outside in the fucking waiting room with a goddamn horror show. But once you got through the door, clean and crisp. When you get down to urology, everything's concrete. It's just a concrete hallway. And it leads to a series of doors. And I don't mean like electronic doors. I mean like the classic has a door handle and is opened in the old method doors. They've got the cool little like the school / hospital glass panel with the wire through it to reinforce it. And as you're kind of walking around, you would see that there's probably about 10 offices, 5 on each side. And at the end of the hallway, it looks like there is a double door that's directly over top of it, and kind of glowing neon signage says storage.
Wheels the gurney out before the doors can close, and we get called back up.
So to add effect, I'm going to kill the music. I just want to make sure that you understand it is completely still as the grave down here. When the gurney kind of comes out onto the wheels, kind of like track out onto the concrete, there's an echo inside of this hallway. It feels really weird. But yeah, you wheel it out and you're here.
Hatter would say, I understand the expression as still as the morgue, but there has to be some movement.
We're not even at the morgue yet.
No, we're at urology.
Yeah.
This is where people have stuff done to their penises.
No, I knew where we were at, but I was just saying, like, if
Yeah.
this is this still,
Yeah.
like, there's an issue here.
Should we check the storage closet?
The issue, again, just a quick out of character note. I don't know if anybody has been to a urology office on a facility.
Yeah. I got blown up once, John. I got a lot of things checked out.
Well, my experience is very similar to what's happening here, so I don't know if anybody else had the sub-basement urology visits, but I did.
Definitely have, John.
Yeah, you sure did.
Hasn't been to ER, but
I'm trying to make this as relatable and understandable by you, because this is specifically for you.
Thanks.
I'm the worst. But no, yeah, it is a completely still hallway, concrete, polished concrete on the floor at least, but concrete walls, the concrete ceiling, track of lights down the middle. It is very much horror show city. But there are signs outside of each of the doors. Looks like these are different individual offices for urologists. The first 2 indicate that they are emergency urology.
Is there any sign with like the little green man and the staircase?
No, there's no staircase access that you can see in this space. The only things that you see are the offices and then the storage room on the far side.
Yeah, we need to go down.
Question.
These 2 floors.
So, are there other elevators here? Like, there's a service elevator present?
There are a total of 3 elevators present on your floor. The one you exit out of, and then 1 on either side of you. Neither of them is the service elevator.
Which means we probably should have taken the service elevator. But I don't think we had access to it.
You did not.
No.
Yeah.
It would have been more obvious for me to be hacking into an elevator in the main elevator lobby. It's a little bit more dead here, so I was thinking, if it was present, better.
Once things quiet down, though, there is an ambiance that you kind of notice and kind of recognize, Rocco. It's something that you definitely have had some experience with. There's definitely HVAC down here. There is a air system that seems to be kind of filling the space. And based on the runner, it looks like it goes and ends right here at the elevators. And it looks like it starts down at the storage.
All right.
Storage.
Storage.
Okay. Do you take the gurney with you, or do you leave it here at the door or at the doors?
I'm gonna leave it at the elevator.
Okay.
I'm placing it like as if it's intentionally placed there, not like abandoned.
Okay.
If that,
Like it,
you know
like
what I
it's
mean?
ready for someone.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when you get to the about halfway point, I would say, you would see one of the doors open. Out of the door comes a mysterious man. Looks like he's wearing a very high fashion, urban flash kind of style, like neo kitsch suit. He kind of has a very dapper look to him, but it looks like he's kind of like saddened, like his face is kind of down, and he's kind of very meek looking. When you see him, like obviously he turns and faces you, and you kind of see each other, but he kind of like covers his face and kind of like quickly moves towards the elevators. And
It's
hold
the
on.
look of a man who just got bad news from a urologist.
Yeah.
It may very well be that. And even
Okay.
though it is dark down here, he is wearing shades on his face. And just to kind of let you know, this is what the guy looks like. Here we go. He's kind of got like a
Looks
weird
like a man who got an STD. It
moon
does.
with an that looks like a man who got an STD. He's got like a moon and an ankh and like a crazy
no.
like dragonfly thing on his chest. Yeah, he walks in kind of a embarrassed fashion towards the elevator door.
He would be a Moon Knight main.
You go to the storage area. It's basically audience or like not audience. I guess kind of like a auditorium style doors. That's the word I was looking for. Like the push doors with like the metal bar. And when you enter in, bear with me here for a second. We go to here.
Oh, we get a map.
Oh, we get a map. Yeah.
God.
Oh no.
Why is there a chair?
You just narrowly missed a map. You just on other floors. So you walk in and you can hear kind of the like as you kind of push through, you can hear the sounds of kind of like wet smacking and kind of like light kind of grunting. And then you would see that there's a television here. It actually appears to be like a data term. So basically, it's a display screen attached to a computer, like back in the Apple days. Those transparent clear plastic ones, but in the future, though, for the future. And it's sitting there, and it appears to be playing N54 like news. It's nothing of note, right? But the weird smacking and kissing and noises are coming from over here.
I realized I'm joined as not a player, so I'm switching over.
Okay. No worries. There's
There we
nothing
go.
visible.
Well, no, I didn't see the map at all. I was still on the main.
Oh, right, because you're a GM.
Yeah.
It doesn't take
Whoa.
doesn't take you places. But yeah, you would hear that over there. As you kind of barge in, though, are you kind of quiet about it, or are you just coming right in like you own the place?
I would want to be not obnoxious about it. Just a little quiet.
Anybody else want to be obnoxious about it, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't really say anything about stealth, so I think we just go in.
Yeah, okay. So if like you kind of barge in, no problem. That sound is very light for a moment, but then the second the door is shut, it's kind of like more of a ka-thunk sound, and you would hear them kind of like go quiet.
Rocco puts on the face of the many years of being a worker out there in Night City and kind of strolls in with a half defeated look on his face and walks in to see what he sees.
Yeah. When you come around the corner, you would see two guys in a state of undress, and they kind of look up at you. And one of them says, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing down here?" And they kind of are getting up. Seems like they're taking the posturing position in the attempt to get out of this situation.
Is that what they were doing?
Well, no,
Grey's Anatomy.
he's trying to stand up and say, you're not supposed to be here," kind of situation.
And Rocco basically says, I could say the same. I could say the same.
This is where we take our break. And the other guy is just not saying anything. Kind of arms crossed, just like staying back, really quiet.
Look, I'm just trying to find my way down. Somebody told me that I need to go to a different floor than where I'm at. I'm. Can you tell me
The
it's
shy
quicker?
the
Tell
shy
me
guy
the-
says, I got to get back to the office," and then kind of looks at the other guy like really sad and kind of dejected and scared, and kind of moves past all of you, like looking at you and kind of like a panic, and then we'll kind of bolt out of the door.
I
And
was
then,
gonna say, if he looks, can we kind of like put our hand up to stop him,
are you gonna try and
or is
stop
he
him?
gonna, is he gonna try to shove
Oh, he's
past?
gonna try and shove fast, yeah.
He's very embarrassed.
I was gonna just kind of grab his scrub and be like, "Who's your charge nurse?"
Do you want to intimidate? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If this guy is like a state of panic, we might be able to get something out of him. The other guy seems like he's got like a bit of a cojones on him, but this guy.
Okay,
you
hold
get
on a
this
second.
guy.
Hold on a second. Couple of beats in process. Give me a brawling roll. You're trying to grab him. I've got a
Oh, no.
DV. DV's
My
gonna
noodle
be
arms don't even fill out these scrubs.
about a 13. And I want to stress something real quick. It's not a gay panic situation. Like obviously,
Yeah,
two
yeah,
dudes
yeah,
kissing
yeah.
and smooching is fine. It's that they're not
They're
supposed to
just
be doing it while they're working.
This is
Yeah.
a place of business, okay?
Right. This is a
No
corporation.
canoodling.
All right.
Grey's Anatomy,
Also-
all right?
We're breaking.
I'm also gonna try to help Ares and also grab this kid.
no.
HR.
Too
will
quick a
love this.
situation. I'm not going to allow for help.
Sorry, brawling is body?
Under
Yeah.
fighting, first
Fighting.
one.
Fighting. Yeah.
13 on the nose.
So he is going to slip through your grasp. I set the
My
DV
noodle
at
arms.
13.
So you had to
13 is what the number you
surpass
rolled
it.
is. So you have to exceed it, and you didn't. So he's going to get through and make his way out. You'd see him run out, and he, like, the door remains open long enough. It's like a slow track and then slam. But you would see him go out towards the emergency room, what would be your now right side, the left side when you first came in, and enter into that office before the door slams shut. The other guy comes out and says, "You're not going to report this, are you? I mean, you were lost. It's no big deal. Like, I'll just go
Yeah.
and we're fine."
That's fine with me. Could you just tell me where how to get down? I don't know how to get down.
The only way down to the sub levels below this are the service elevators. And he kind of looks at
Okay.
you confused, like, what the fuck? And we'll kind of walk
Yeah,
past you.
Rocco's kind of giving him the what the fuck look too.
Yeah.
Like neither of us know what's going on.
The door kind of remains open. You'd see him kind of walking slowly, kind of stridently. And there's like a moment where he kind of looks over his shoulder, like confused. And then the door will kind of come closed and shut. Once the door is shut and everything's quiet, you're all kind of looking at each other exchanging glances. You can definitely hear the sound of like an engine or a fan or something, but you can't seem to see where it's coming from.
It's not on like the ceiling or anything.
No, there's a big ass like metal pipe across the ceiling, and it seems to come from the south wall.
Oh. I guess we'll look at the south wall.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception roll.
It is still up. Perception is awareness. 18.
So you're kind of scanning the wall, kind of like looking at it, and you look at the thing and you see that it kind of enters into that space. You look over here and there's this very strange, in the corner, kind of settled on the wall in the just most precarious fashion, a very tall and kind of very narrow whiteboard. It's like a standing mirror, but instead of being a mirror, it is a whiteboard. There are a couple of markers like present on the little sill that holds those at the bottom, and kind of written on it is just a bunch of jargon. Like it's if you don't have paramedic trained, you have no idea, or surgery trained, you have no idea what it's talking about. But there's
Right.
definitely a distinctly noticeable drawing, highly detailed, of a cock and balls.
That tracks. It is urology.
Right.
I keep forgetting where we're at, so when you bring that up, I'm like, what is that? What the hell? Hospital? Oh yeah, you're not wrong. Okay.
The build up for that was very
It,
nice.
it is present there. It's hanging on the wall, and when you get closer to it, you realize that it seems to be the case that it is covering up something.
And I, with my brawny arms, lift
Kind of
it
reach forward and kind of like
away.
lift it off of its frame or off of its mounting and kind of set it aside. And directly behind it is a grate. Basically, it's a register, I believe is what it's called, for air intake that has been covered up by this.
They've probably been having so many issues with keeping temperature regulation on this floor. No
Yeah.
wonder it feels weird.
Yeah, it's a bit muggy down here for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have been.
Great.
Could have also been because of the fornicating.
Too many holes.
They wash their hands before they go back, at least I think.
Gosh, I hope
I don't
so.
think they did.
Well, they were fondling anyway. That's what they're going to be doing. So
Yeah, I mean, they look like
it
they
doesn't
were.
change much.
They look like they were handsome enough, guys. They're probably in member services.
So are we? I would look over at Rocco and say, "Are we going this way now?" Because I do remember that I'm pretty sure you went through a vent last time I was with you too.
Easy enough to pop off. The vent in question goes straight down and straight up.
Up, not down.
Looking down, does it look like there's any sensors along the vent
No.
that might? Okay, cool.
If you look up, what you'll realize this is an exhaust. So basically
Yeah.
out. And it appears to be doing so for all floors below as well.
Okay. I look around the room and see if there's anything I can use to jury rig something to help us get down, or if we're going to need to let athletics take the wheel.
Yeah, so you go around and looking into the space, there doesn't appear to be any rope or anything to that effect. If you don't have a grapple hand, a grapple gun, rope, or something to that effect, yeah, you're going to be doing the kind of like, trying to hold your weight and like slowly moving down.
That's what I assumed we were gonna do.
Aries is like panic.
I just like hold on to Rem's back.
Uppies, uppies, uppies. But it's Marvin the Martian. Uppies.
He would want uppies though.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
John, wasn't I able to like extend my arm? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
That was like a finger thing, right?
Yeah.
Where I could okay.
It wouldn't grant like basically what you're doing here. It's not so much like getting extension. So
Yeah.
gravity is going to take hold, and you need to basically you're trying to resist gravity while also working to follow gravity's path. You want to fall, but you're at your own rate. So the athletics check is to maintain pressure outwards so that you can slowly slide down in a controlled fashion. If you're going normal,
how far is the drop?
It's going to be 15 feet to the next floor and then 15 feet to the last floor, so 30 feet.
Is it 30 feet straight down, or is it like 15 goes?
Remember what I told you at the beginning of the session? When you walked through and had your shit shut off, they shut off.
Yeah, I was wondering why you picked my jump boosters in particular, and I was.
The Talon claws can't be used to actuate for climbing. Yeah, you're kind of just doing it like everyone else.
I don't have my rippers.
I told you, I was prepared for anything. If you'd gotten into the service elevator somehow, we had our own other gigs. There's plenty of extra. This was a choose your own adventure. I'm glad you've made it this far. You're not done yet, though.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics roll if you're going in raw.
It's not great, but
DV's 13.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck, I'm dead.
Well, no, not dead. It's not a killing. I don't think that's going to be a killing situation. It's just a 30-foot fall in a tube.
Yeah.
You should be mostly okay. Fall damage, not a thing. So
you
you're
need
fine.
to be at least on the 3rd floor.
Fall.
This is why we need a Chad in the game. He would explain that HVAC systems would never go straight 30 feet one way.
Oh my gosh, yeah, if that's true, I don't know.
I'm not a big enough authority to actually know that, but I know a guy.
Chip
You
needs
try and
to.
catch himself.
You want to roll a d20?
Hold on.
I don't know how you want to do damage for that fall because you're right. I don't think there really is fall damage in Cyberpunk. So
Would he be
We're all
able to make
cats.
some sort of like
So the fall is 10
save to
meters.
try and keep
the ball
himself
is
from catching?
10 meters
to
/
the
yards or more. You take 2d6 for every 10 meters you fall, and it does not get soaked by armor. It's just
Okay.
straight to the body.
can I roll 2d6s?
Hold on. Who
Also, oh, Josh just walked away because I was going to be like, Tarako, I just ate shit. I roll a 3. I am. There's no saving anything about this.
The armor eats it. The armor eats the shit out of it. So yeah, if you're wearing armor of any kind, you're fine.
I have subdermal at 11.
So
Okay.
it doesn't
Well,
affect it like
let's see. Roll 2d6.
melee?
If you roll 12, yeah, you're fine. So you kind of fall down. It's a very large clattering of sound. And
I think they know we're here now.
boom.
Oops.
And then also, so characters who fall 10 meters yards, this is, by the way, we're looking at page 181, or more, take 2d6 for every 10 meters they fall, soaked by body armor, and unless they then succeed a DV15 athletics check, also suffer the broken leg critical injury. Characters with 2 cyber legs do not take this damage or suffer the critical injury. However, cyber legs do nothing to prevent damage or critical injury if the fall is greater than 30 meters or yards. Okay, so you have cyber. Yeah, you have cyber legs. However, because you were trying to do that, you do make a lot of sound. So if there is something that would be aware of that,
I probably sound like an atomic bomb hitting the bottom floor at 30 feet.
Well, it's also like a little bit of like clangs, like desperate pattering to kind of hold on and then slide and thud.
You're telling me Hatter could have just walked off the edge looking cool? No.
Yeah, just drop down and land. Okay.
Getting dropped down like the Thing.
You know, now we know. And knowing is half the battle or some shit. Rocco, Ares, Rem, bit of noise.
I'll go.
Quiet immediately after that. Hatter, you're on the bottom level, and it seems that there's kind of like a flue setup, similar to the one you just entered into. There is a vent, and it looks like it leads into a very small closet space.
I, without hesitation, will try to. Can I Is it like a door into the closet space?
Well, no, it's like a vent, but you can push the vent off. It's active.
Can I look through? Do you need a roll for that, or do I just look?
No. Yeah, you see through it. There's nothing in there. You enter into the the space without issue. The doors in this space, they have vents in them as well, but there's 2 doors with the vent systems. It seems like the register is not being kind of blocked in this space. So it seems that the airflow is actually important here. The other thing you'll note is there is a very distinct and noticeable temperature change. It's
gonna be cold.
Yeah, you're from Night City, so you're used to 75 as kind of like a winter chill. It's probably somewhere in the ballpark of 65 down here. Who's next?
Me.
Oh.
Rem, you're able to make it down without issue. Again, you don't use any cyberware or anything, just leg extensions and kind of hands kind of pressing the legs and pushing slowly down, kind of sliding your back against the wall and down.
Yeah.
The thing you'll notice when you get down there...
cross-training.
The thing that you'll notice when you get down there, and Hatter, the same is true of you, is when the 2 of you look at each other, you'll notice that your outfits are completely covered with dust and dirt.
That tracks.
more so on Hatter because tumble bam bam bam, but Rem noticeably like there's a big streak on her back and like um, on her shoes.
Without her noticing, I would go to reach to like dust it off and immediately go, and I would just pull my hand back. I did no, actually, no. I
Oh,
don't need a gut reaction to lose an arm.
something we didn't take into account, but I want to kind of put out on the table here. When you got into the outfits, you were obviously relieving yourself of your armor jacks, so you currently aren't armored either. So
Alright.
you have subdermal armor, you're fine. But for the others, if you don't have armor, I do want to make sure that we take into account there was probably a medical bag on the gurney. Rocco, you tumbled everybody's clothes into that, and you have that with you. So if you want to just drop that down, and Rem can catch it, that's fine. I don't want to steal something from you because of a
Yeah.
thing that I forgot to focus on.
No, that's fair.
And thing that I forgot to focus on too. Yep.
Yeah.
I got too distracted by getting dressed up by my friends.
Yeah. That
So,
workable is amazing.
Yeah, I'll drop that down the Rem.
All
Okay.
right, she'll catch it.
Who's going down next? Rocco or Ares?
Ares has been taking a moment to look at the shelves. I'm looking for anything that might help me, my grip, gloves, anything.
Make a perception roll.
Get some nitriles.
Okay.
Eyes like a hawk.
After a fashion, what you realize is that the operating chair has a very long cable spool on it. That the cable is very thick. It's like a high powered cable for like powering all the devices that would be on a Ripper chair. And so you just grab the spool and kind of unhinge it and then pull, or like, no, leave it there. You just start pulling the wire and you feel like you've got about, 50 feet of, cable here. You can kind of like throw it over the shelves and then kind of work it through the vent. But it would very much leave like a clear, defining line to where you're going. But it would let you climb down a lot easier.
Yeah, I'll let
That's fine.
Ares go.
This place seemed kind of deserted except for Lover Boys, and they're probably not going to be back here anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it.
They probably think this is now a wasted spot.
Or I'll tell Rocco if he doesn't think he needs it, he can pull it back up, but it'll be there for his use as well.
Okay, so then your athletics check is DV5, so go ahead and roll it. You're fine. And you would have been
Hooray.
fine if you just went for it.
And I'm not dirty, of course, because
Damn.
I was so clean.
Yes, I will say that you are definitely clean, other than your shoes.
Okay. Oh.
We cleaned it up for you.
After Ares gets down, Rocco will cut the cord so that he has
Yep.
the cord available to him.
Okay, so cutting the cord would mean that it would the remainder would kind of slip back into the chair, and then you have the cord. You could tie it to something on this side and descend.
Correct. Yeah. So what he'll do is he'll attach it to the vent, hang it down, get inside, and then use it to kind of wedge the vent in place, and
And
then
then make your way down.
travel down. Yeah.
Very smart. Go ahead and make an athletics roll, DV5. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, it's tied to the thing. You closed it. You would know that the whiteboard obviously wasn't going to be something you could replace easily with that method, but at least there's something. And then you are inside. With that roll too, I'll let you kind of like do a quick pull. You tied it in a very specific knot so that when you do this kind of specific pull, it causes it to loop back down if you want to.
Yep.
Okay. And then you are opening up the door, Satter?
If
I could
everyone's
also open the
there,
doors.
I'm the only one with armor, so I feel like it's smart, which is weird for me as this character. But like, I feel like it is smart for me to be up front because I'm the only one who can take multiple bullets and not immediately have issues. So yeah, I'll open the door.
Make a perception roll.
Oh, it's gonna be under awareness.
As you're about to push the doors open, you hear a, it's nothing. Probably just the system having a slight issue. From the hallway, you hear a voice say it like that. And you look through the register, like wall, the door, and you see two men standing in the hallway out in front of what appears to be the main morgue door. One of them is dressed in a business suit, looks older, like 70 or 80, and just has a very creepy look to his face, a very sunken look to his face. The other individual he's talking to appears to be in solid black armor with Trauma Team logos on it. And that individual is like looking in your direction. And then once the guy says what he says, like almost like a puppet turns and looks right back at him, wearing a full helmet, Trauma Team helmet, and the like. You did exceedingly well, Reginald. I need you to make sure that you deal with those who saw you trying to rid our company of those problems. We will make our way back up now. And almost like a servitor, like a Frankenstein's monster, this black armored Trauma Team specialist follows the suited man towards what appear to be two elevators, one regular elevator and one service elevator at the far side, opposite of where you're located. About where the elevator chute was that you saw before. Do you patiently wait for them to get through?
Yeah. I would turn back. I would look at Rem and go, "What creepy shit did you get us into?"
All of the crashing that happened, I need everybody to make a stealth roll. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which one that's under control. No.
Body.
Body.
So what you are coming to realize, Hatter, is that guy in the Trauma Team mask, and you're the only one who failed it. That guy in the Trauma Team mask was staring right at you. You couldn't see his face, but you know how the Trauma Team masks work. You're cyberware of aware. He saw through the door. He saw your heat signature. You know he saw you. The only thing that stopped you from getting murdered right there was the fact that the strange old man said, "It's nothing," and told him to ignore it. And then those two walked away from the morgue after presumably having ID'd somebody or checked somebody inside of the morgue.
Well, remind me to buy him dinner next time.
Because he eyed you up and down.
Honestly, if you had rolled a lot lower than you rolled, it might have been the second time Reginald killed one of your characters. It might have been, just this time on screen.
That would have been hilarious, though.
Agreed.
And this, it wouldn't even have been a fight. At least Bucket would have been a Bucket. Yeah, it wouldn't do it like a dog.
Especially since he would have used grenades this time. Anyways, they leave. They exit.
Yikes.
The hallway's clear. You wait a couple of moments. Hatter's kind of like, as you're kind of coming down, kind of holding his hand up, like, for quiet, and then kind of looking back out the door. Once they get in the elevator goes up. Hatter, you kind of open the doors and move out into the hallway. There is one room in this space, and it appears to go to what is listed above the door, morgue, and it says morgue access A3. Apparently there are multiple access points into the morgue. When you enter into the space, it's like walking into a fucking Walmart. It's not like walking into a small little tight little corridor as a morgue space. No, it's like a goddamn Walmart. The ceiling is about 20 feet high. It's got, runners across the top, metal runners that are kind of holding it up, and the lights kind of hanging down from it. And then there are a shit ton of these just long boxes throughout the space that all have the kind of stereotypical cooler doors on it. The temperature in this space is somewhere around 50 degrees. So just stepping in, it's like immediate chill. And there are two computer terminals near to where you're located that are unoccupied and appear to be open and unsecure. But there's probably somewhere around room for containing anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 corpses in this cold box room.
Makes sense. Go to a terminal and look up the name.
Go ahead and roll me a library search.
Is there cameras?
There are no cameras in this room.
So library search sounds like you're making it up. I know you're not, but
10.
It's a real roll. Library search. What do you mean it's not a real search?
no, I said it sounds like it sounds like you made it up. I know it's real, but it sounds library search. It just sounds like such a weird thing in this game.
No, that's
Use
a skill.
the Dewey Decimal System to find this
Yeah.
book.
You're kind of like trying to figure out the system, and you're trying to punch up the name. There's no like immediate search location, and you're kind of working at it. But as like Ares is kind of looking over your shoulder, he realizes it's more like a corporate database and not a kind of stereotypical search section. Ares, you can go ahead and make a library search roll on it if you want to take over the computer from her, or if you want to double hack, like one of you's typing on one side, one of you's typing on the other. However you want to play it.
Yeah.
Point is you're helping, and you can go ahead and make a library search to replace her.
I'm gonna reach behind her like I'm teaching her to play golf, but I'm like, here, let me show you. I don't even wait. Who? Sorry, were you forthcoming with like who we're actually looking up here? Because I don't know what to type in.
She would say Celeste Marston.
All right, let's give it a whirl.
Quick question. Same surname as your government name would be? Ares, you've seen Rem's document. Again, her name hasn't been outlined, but you would know it. But you would recognize that the last name is the same. I think we kind of alluded to the fact that if she was pressed on it, she would kind of make you know that it is her mom that you're looking for. Yeah, she's in Cold Locker 412.
Cold Locker 412.
You head on over.
Yep.
It does look like next to Cold Locker 412 there is a table. The table in question does appear to have surgery tools, and there does appear to be a chart next to it, which is on a data tablet.
Is the chart open?
The chart, yeah, you can pick it up and check it. You would see that it looks like it's an order of operations that are expected to be exhibited on this specific corpse. It states removal of neuroport. Neuroport is to be taken to exec office 382. And there is no name listed to 382, but there is a name section, but it seems to have been either redacted or erased.
Right. I can take like a snapshot of that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're recording, I assume, as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have multiple angles
It's
on it.
more of like just like a screenshot.
Yeah, Braindance recorders, micro video recorders. Those are not combatware. However, there are sections that execs have inside of these buildings where they can basically just flip a switch and turn off all recording,
right?
Destroying any memory chips that are present, recording as well.
Yeah,
but not here, and nobody's aware of your presence so far. Well, Reggie knows, but do you open up the door and check inside?
Yep.
Okay. There is a corpse, and there she is. Your mother. She's still wearing her REO Meat Wagon EMT jacket. It looks like she has a number of submachine gun bullets embedded in her chest. Looks like a couple hit her in the face. It definitely looks like she took auto fire direct, and that's probably cause of death.
Right. Internet report and everything's still in.
Yeah, you would see that inside of her neck. There are 2 slots that are already slotted. One of them you would know, based on your own processes, is a memory chip that is collecting the recording. And then the other shard you don't recognize.
And would I know that whether or not I can just like pull both of them out?
Yeah, you can pop them. She doesn't have any locks on them.
Yeah.
They don't have any kind of resistors or lock mechanism. So yeah, you pop them out, no problem. Again, memory shard. You see it, and you can immediately kind of slot that if you want to, or you can wait until later. But you're pretty sure that this is the memory chip that was recording into. And then the other shard, when extracted, appears to be a solid black data shard, and on its side, it appears to have corporate stamping for Militech.
Would Hatter have caught the
Interesting.
surname, or was that just Ares?
Make
She
a
would have
perception.
said it out loud to Ares, like he's like, what do I type in?
And there's enough of Ares' face on display, like the eyes are showing, that you would have been able to see kind of like a acknowledgement.
Because I don't know, like Hatter doesn't know Ren's name,
Yeah.
so unless she directly says something that like that's family or anything of that nature,
Yeah.
I'm going on as business as usual. So unless she,
There also might be like some family resemblance,
Yeah.
even though the face is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, she looks like she's shot and dead, but yeah, she's either like a sibling or like a parent of around. Definitely not a daughter, just based on
yeah,
age.
I would walk up to Ren and say, I do not say this very often, but I do understand if we can get the body out, we will cremate. And I would just leave it at that and walk back away from the situation. Because again, I'm mean, but I'm not heartless.
Now you can understand why she was a little hesitant, but also like,
If it gets the
I
job done.
mean, if you need the body, you can have the body.
Well,
Well,
to
I
be
have
on,
the
oh, go ahead.
chip, and
To be honest, getting her out is going to be difficult. You left your gurney back on the 3rd level.
yeah.
The big question is now that the chips are gone, are they going to care about the body, or can I just get with my connect on the rail line and take it?
Yeah,
And
so
then we
you,
can
you
just
could ask to get it later, but your presumption is that they are going to do some form of surgery on her, according to the chart. Like they are going
Yeah.
to be extracting the whole neuroport. And
Yeah.
go ahead and those of you who can make a cyberware roll or cyber tech roll.
everyone can.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we're gonna be good at it.
19
That's under
or 18.
control.
Sorry.
No. I got 2 levels in it. Let's go.
Okay, so
I wasn't the worst.
Hatter and Rocco, you two are aware of a couple of factors that are present here that I want to make sure that you are very aware is the case. REO Meatwagon jackets are actually connected through wireless connection directly to the neuroport, and they basically act as a secondary biomonitor for an REO Meatwagon EMT, and they track all sorts of metadata about the Meatwagon EMT representative, everything from biologicals to impact trauma. Basically, they make sure that every single detail of their individuals is being tracked, so that if something is going wrong, they know to call out and make sure that if there's a problem, there's a problem. Out of character, this was first noted for us in the episode "The Jacket," which was the preset module for the CEMK.
Oh, that's right.
Right, they were trying to get a hold of Gloria's jacket, aka
Mhm.
David's mom, because David was wearing it and not knowing that it was connecting to his neuro and tracking all of the metadata regarding the Sandevistan.
Yeah.
The military
So
grade.
taking the jacket might be good.
So the jacket can be taken, but with that roll, the two of you would know that you can just pull that biomonitor from the jacket. You don't have to take the jacket. Go ahead, the hands raising.
So, is there any way for them to track a corpse after it's like
Oh, if the
say we moved it?
If the jacket's
Yeah,
on it,
so-
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely want to disconnect that.
Yeah, with that.
Does every corpse here have one of those, or is it just
No.
specific for REO?
It's her jacket. She's still wearing her full EMT
Yeah.
fit. So that yellow jacket, basically, it is connected to her neuroport and acts as like a secondary biomonitor for the company.
Yeah. Okay.
And you hung out with Redtail, so this might have been something you talked to
Yeah.
him about. It might be like backlore. He also wears one and is being monitored by the wagon.
So my thought process is switch this body with somebody else and then that way Hatter can have that body moved, and they're none the wiser.
The other thing that I wanted to make sure that I highlighted is that the neuroport itself has similar metadata, because obviously it's broadcasting it to the biomon that's collecting
Right.
it, but also it has effectively traces of it that, if they are kind of handled within 24 hours, could be extracted. So it could be the case that her brain dance recording could be taken in a rawer form than a raw brain dance and collected from the neuroport itself. So if you don't leave the body,
Oh.
you're taking it with you. That's fine. But if you do take, or if you leave the body, the neuroport staying here will give them the same data you just collected with the shard.
Right.
Even if we took her to a different slot and made it look like she was either gone already.
Oh, sure.
And
You could do that.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, if you want to try
yeah,
and like obscure her presence, like by moving her to a different cold storage, yeah, I
yeah,
see what you're saying.
that was my thought process. Because Hatter's going to be able to remove a body that's not this person a lot easier, since this one's kind of interest.
Gotcha.
Of the 1,500 bodies that are potentially here.
Based on the
That,
tablet, the operation's supposed to happen within the hour. So they're
Mm.
supposed to come down here and collect the neuroport soon.
my other question is,
Can you short circuit the neuroport so they can't get
yeah,
the data?
You could definitely just frag it for sure. That'll be another cyber tech roll or a demolitions roll, whichever you feel more comfortable. The demolitions roll will be less DV than the tech roll, but I will
Because
note
we
as you,
have the other info, like the info that was needed,
yeah,
and we can't like as easily get the body out, but we have the data that we actually needed.
Aries, as you're kind of listening to everything, like the Militech chart is definitely something you're interested in.
I was gonna add a beat for that if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, in this very specific situation of Ares knowing this is Rem's mother and her being in cold storage, as they kind of pulled her out, he's kind of like Ares is kind of focused like on her face and this like kind of, I guess, older middle-aged woman, like essentially this cold face, like pale skin, and he's just almost like his eyes are almost like focused on her face, and I'd say his eyes are definitely showing, probably for the first time anyone who's worked with him, like actual like sadness, and it's almost like he's locked in a memory of like staring at this woman. And I would say,
Aw.
just role playing wise, he did not clock the Militech shard being removed because he's so focused on this event.
Mm.
Okay. Then I'd say that Hatter, as like, you're kind of looking at the situation. Rocco's kind of like, talking about the neuroport potentially fragging it, and Rem's kind of like, of a mind that's a good idea, and then maybe like doing a little bit of ball cups to kind of like move her somewhere else and hide her. You're looking around and you're kind of noticing um that there's footprints on the ground. Like there's enough of a cold level to it that there are footprints on the ground. Your footprints, but you can also see another pair of footprints that are nowhere near here. They're like over like a few like rows down, and they seem to stop at another cold storage, not this one.
You have me intrigued.
And you're
Um,
pretty sure based on everything, like the freshness of it, the only other people that could have been would have been the corporate man and his lapdog.
Mm.
oh God, yeah, no, 100%. I would look over at Rocco and say, I know you're better with tech than I am, so I am going to go on a small adventure. I'll be right back. And I head straight to that door.
All right.
I'm gonna see if there's treats.
All right.
Rocco gives him a long look and then turns back to his work.
See, the issue is we're in corpse storage, and genuinely, I'm like, no. If you ask, yeah, the answer's probably gonna be yes.
You walk over to the cold storage. There are no notes. There's no tab. There's no nothing near it. But you definitely notice that like there's a kind of like a rhyme to the handles and everything that seems to have been kind of messed with by somebody kind of grabbing a hold of it, and that doesn't seem to be the presence on any of the other ones. And when you grab it and open it and look inside, you see a man that looks like he has been burned a lot, like a shit ton. Like, it looks like he was very much on fire. And the individual in question, um, yeah, it almost looks like he was like partially cremated. To be completely honest, the name on it says that this person's name is John Ashburn. It says that he is a representative of Raven Microcybernetics, and yeah, it appears that this is who they came to ID and check. And there does seem to have a note on the tag, like the toe tag, for disposal. And you would see that this is something that you've seen before. These are the bodies that get thrown out into the Badlands to kind of just get rid of them so that they're not like focused in on too much.
But I know that disposal isn't happening like soon.
Oh,
I know that's
probably.
like a night.
Yeah, it's either tonight or it's going to be like maybe later on down the road this week.
Okay.
But your
I'd grab the
Go ahead.
I'd grab the toe tag.
Okay.
And I would examine the body, but it being that burnt, I'm guessing there's nothing
Yeah,
of interest
it
for
looks
me.
like he's not wearing any pants. He's wearing kind of like a blazer. It looks like he was completely incinerated, or not incinerated, obviously not incinerated, but it looks like someone was attempting to incinerate him. There was a lot of fire that happened to this man. It does look like his jacket was peeled away from his body at some point, and possibly something inside of the jacket pocket was taken. The guy looks like a mess.
Yeah, I would look it over, grab the toe tag, and walk happily back. When I got back, I would look over at Ares and just say, someone tried to cook long pig, didn't go well. And I would hand over the tag to Rocco.
When you take it, you kind of look at it, you don't really recognize the name, but Ares, you're kind of snapped out of your moment for a second, and you kind of look at Hatter and just like don't even really pay attention to what he said. But your eyes track on the tag, and you would see the name John Ashburn. Do you recognize the name?
Yeah, he was the Militech security guy who was a G puppet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I said Raven Microcybernetics. No, I'm dumb. I meant Militech. I'm looking at my notes right now, and I was hoping nobody called me out on it, and I was going to cry about it later. But no, yeah. This guy is a Militech exec who deals with corporate security. And yeah, you're aware of him. And for some reason, Trauma Team has him.
But I know for a fact that the things of interest that he had are
them.
Essentially where they are.
Right. Hungry has them. And you have them.
Yeah. Not terribly concerned. Yeah, I kind of snap out, reminiscing, and take a sigh. Okay. All right, what's got what we came for? Are we making our escape?
For those looking at him, I'm assuming that like Ares is kind of like raising up the cool levels, trying to get back into the exec shoes. But there's this just absolutely burning hot kind of presence of the corpse of Rem's mother that's like almost like glaring up at him, and he's trying to kind of avoid contact with it again. It's very noticeable, right? Is that fair to say, Steve?
Yeah, like he's probably showing, even though like you can really see his like it's very much showing a lot of emotion.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just last time I saw my own mother, she looked very similar. It was a long time ago.
I guess the pain won't go away.
I guess it really depends what kind of relationship you had with her, but yeah, it's tough.
So you're going to maneuver the body here to a different slot, and then you're going to maneuver this or the other body into this slot, replacing the two. and then you're going to basically schedule the other body for disposal, and then you already know John Ashburn's body is being disposed of as well. Okay? And when you do that, what you'll notice is when you kind of go over to the library search and kind of do that and schedule them for those, you'll notice that the one that was burned up, it was just recently scheduled for that disposal. It looks like an autopsy was planned, but they just seem to have overridden it. Whoa, that is bright. It looked like you got flashbanged for a second there, Steve. It was just like...
Boom.
Okay, so a flashbang rolls in, and JK. But yeah, so it seems that somebody has scheduled John Ashburn for removal in this fashion, and then yeah. So Ares, do you want to make an agreement with Hatter to get Ashburn as well?
I mean, if he wants him, like,
Well,
it's not-
again,
there's not-
he's a Militech
there's not much
exec. He's somebody that's being thrown away like trash by Trauma Team for some reason.
I guess the high enough level that like we should make sure he's like treated well. Like, is that the kind of the protocol?
He's a Militech exec that is being thrown away by another corporation like he was trash.
That is very suspicious.
And based on the reports of your sidekicks, he was probably murdered by a Trauma Team special operative. That matches the description of the guy with that.
Very much like possibly what happened to my mother.
Okay, so he should have been essentially his body should have been returned to Militech because he's an exec.
I believe at the beginning you had asked if there were any Militech operatives who were in, and there were 0.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for being a better exec role player.
She's done this before.
For a while.
I have had practice. I had so much practice that I girl bossed my way into a promotion. God damn it! Now I'm in charge.
Then yeah, if Hatter has a link to get the body out of here, like nonchalantly, then yeah, I'll let him know that I will pay him for the corpse.
Okay.
I'll also take this opportunity to say I definitely want to fry that
report.
Yeah, port.
Okay.
Before we
So I'll do a cyber tech.
Yep. Yeah,
Hey.
you are able to basically reverb it and like use your the power charge in your thing to basically cause a complete fragging of the system-wide network. There's no metadata on the thing. You double check. Neuroport is completely just dead. Not even like turn onable. Done.
Sick.
It seems like other cyberware present on the body is fine. Like it's still sellable for somebody who might be collecting the corpse for whatever nefarious purposes. If you're going to cremate it, you might pull things out of it before you do so.
You don't burn the metal. They even take out your teeth if they cremate you, so they don't have leftovers.
Some people do. Some people do. Well, the furnaces, things that are not the quick cream, do get a little hotter than what we've got in real life. So yeah, it is possible to get slag in your tube. Anyway.
Gross.
Yeah, well, you know, waste want not.
I'm gonna let you soak in that one for a moment.
I don't want to. So moving along, you are then attempting to leave. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go to the service elevator door and the other elevator door, neither of these are anything you will be able to utilize with your ID card.
So we can climb up the vent again.
If you wish to backtrack, you can.
Or hack
into I wish I didn't take down this wire now.
Do you wish to backtrack?
I feel like that's the easiest attempt, but I know not all of us are athletically inclined, and I'm including in that.
It's a little effort.
Unless Rocco can...
Well, yeah, if one of us goes up with athletics, they could tie off the rope and have a better DB. So
I could try that.
Okay.
But let's try with one person, see if it works, and if not, I'll hack the elevator. Or try to.
Yaddy yaddy yaddy. Nailed it!
Just jumps, one jump, just single
you
once.
very quickly move up the shaft. You're not making a lot of noise. When you get up to the third level and you're about to kind of maneuver in there, you hear what sounds like radio chatter, like, and then you hear a guy say, "You're sure they went in here?" And then you hear a guy go, "Yeah, I'm sure they were in here for sure. They caused some problems at A&E. We're still searching for them." And then a light flashes over the register, and you are pretty sure you're close to being detected. Make a stealth roll.
Damn. I'm not great at stealth.
I'll give you a point.
Point of luck from... keep in mind, this is the session before a checkpoint, so if you spend all your luck, it's gonna be refreshed. Literally after the session.
Give her two. Give her two.
You can't give her more than one as a chip in.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Anybody else tossing them in? Too late.
Give one.
Too late.
Okay, well, I'll allow that one. That was during the roll, so that's fine. So we're +2 is 19. Okay. So the light flashes and you kind of move yourself, your body kind of pressing against the side. The light flashes in and you see a person kind of come up to it, open it up and kind of look inside. And at that moment, like as he's opening it and getting ready to press in, you kind of maneuver yourself so that you're away from like where he's looking. And he kind of looks down and then kind of like, looks around and then pops back in but doesn't look up. And as you're kind of like hanging above him, nobody beneath you, you're kind of just holding there. You have like the wire cinched around your belt, and he closes the thing up. Doesn't seem like anybody went in there. And they kind of maneuver back into the storage room, and you can hear them like smashing stuff inside of there, searching each container that could hold a person. Do you wish to continue ascending?
Like up to the next
ground level
floor?
Yeah.
We got 50 feet of rope, so...
Yes.
Okay. Once you get to the top, you come to a position where there is a small avenue that exits to the side and seems to kind of exit to like street level. And directly above you is a massive turbine that is kind of pulling air up. It doesn't affect you, like it doesn't suck you up or anything. It's not that strong, but it is kind of like creating an effect on your hair and everything's kind of like going up. The nurse skirt is kind of like being riffled, and you're kind of just tugging yourself into that space. It's dirty as hell once you get out into the street level area, and when you basically pull yourself out of that space, you are like in nurse outfit but covered in like just soot and like brown dirt. So you look like most of the people walking around this area.
Hell yeah, blending right in.
Walking toward the EMT, but you are on holo call with your team if you want to be. But it does seem like they are a good, 60 or so feet below you. The rope you have is not going to help them.
Right.
Job's done. You could just leave them.
No. She'll holo call them and tell them that the only way is going all the way up, otherwise it's clear. Is there a place that I can tie the cable off for the last 50 feet?
It's possible, but dropping it down will cause the sound bang, bang, bang. Like, if you lower it down slowly, I'll say you can go ahead and do it. That's fine. It just takes a little longer.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's what she would do, like, as she's doing the call.
If that's the case,
telling them.
Then everybody just needs to make a stealth roll as you're trying to make your way up the tube and getting out without banging around too much.
Nice.
Okay. So,
Nice.
So that was a lot of natural 10s on the dice rolls. So everybody's like quietly Batman and Robin style, just like going up the rope one at a time, because the cord is not able to sustain more weight than that. But eventually you all kind of get out to street level, dirty as fuck, wearing your, boy shorts and your mini skirts, but you're all like out and about. I didn't mention that the sexy boy one was basically like, mini shorts, but yeah, you were all walking around in...
Oh, I expected Ranger panties. I expected like 4-inch in, like 3-inch inseam maximum.
Gotta have your Daisy Dukes.
Well,
you're just seeing all cybernetics.
Just robot.
This is probably the least amount. This
Go
is
ahead.
probably the least amount of clothes that Rocco's ever worn, and
For
he
sure.
feels invigorated.
I would say if you're like Russian genetics are strong, it's probably like a bear, right? Like it's just like,
Yeah.
just like a.
Ares has a body of 5. He absolutely does not fill this out flatteringly at all. Like, more like, how did he get
No,
a job as a sexy nurse?
But you rolled the wardrobe and style so high that you are selling, like you are serving like twink, like you are
I was about to
serving like
say.
hot,
He tied up the
sexy.
waist. There's a little midriff showing.
You tied it at the waist.
You don't know much more intimidating your character was right before this moment. Right now all of a sudden Hatter's looking at him going like, at one point I respected this man, but now
You're all
Something
covered
learn
in
about
dirt.
Ares.
You're
He's a man
able.
of
now I
many
need a
faces.
calendar.
You're able to kind of maneuver yourself to a location that is quiet enough for you to kind of disregard the attire you're wearing, and then put on your more native attire. Obviously, during this process, the mask stays on, helmet on, pull, and you're back into your Aries self. But again, due to the nature of just like changing and kind of getting into quiet space without your assistance here, I'm going to have everybody but you make a perception roll with a DV of 23 to try and see if they can see anything about Ares to ruin the mystique. So you need a 24 or better.
It's the end of the session.
Yeah. You gotta spend all your luck.
I'm spending a luck.
I love it.
How much luck? Not enough.
It doesn't matter.
I said a luck, yeah.
Yeah. So Ares' incognito state remains. Some of you have seen a little bit more of Ares than he probably wanted to let out, but very good character moment.
We saw his penis like he was changing in front of us. The only thing I don't know at this point is his face. He has a mole.
I'm gonna say like that was fine, like impressive even. So I got you. Yeah, I'm from Mars. Whoa. Anyways, changing the subject. Jeez, you guys. You're
You
out
put
and
us in
about.
urology.
You're out in the street. Yeah, I did do that intentionally. You're out and about. You're out on the street. How are we separating, and is anything being kind of segmented? Obviously, Hatter, you have plans for the evening. Again, on the 19th, late in the evening, your contacts on the inside are going to remove 2 bodies for you and toss them aside.
I would walk over to Rem. I like doing things in person with Hatter, and I would ask if you had a preference, cremated or buried. If it's buried, even though, yes, it can be expensive, it can be arranged, but I just want to have like an actual understanding. I get family.
Also, she can be buried out where they were going to take her anyways, out in the fields. Like
It's up to you.
Well, I would say you can use whatever you can offer and then either cremate or bury. It doesn't. I'd prefer cremated and know where she's at than have her in a field somewhere.
Understood. I'll treat it the same as Gonzo. Do you want the equipment that's on the person? Again, I don't know it's your mom, so on the person. Because that is yours. That's not mine to have if it's claimed.
Keep it.
Understood. No favors needed from here on. And I would just walk to my van after that. I would walk to Cryptid. Ares would see that and just be like, wait a minute.
Are you still
She looks
that
at it
fucking-
again. She knows that you have it because she saw it last time, and like, I still don't think that Cryptid wants that back.
It still has the bike in it.
Yeah. I kept it
sure I
intact.
do.
I mean, it's
Probably a
it's
couple rocket
property.
launchers empty, like in the back, like
A couple tubes.
yeah, just a couple tubes. Go ahaid, Ares.
I think I gave Hatter my business card on our last deal, so he already has my number for the body, so that's fine.
Yep.
I'll kind of shake Rocco's hand. It's a pleasure meeting you, doing business, and then I'll give him a business card as well. It's got a Militech logo on one side, and if you flip it over, it's got essentially a more like a more classic, like hoplite helmet on the other side. It's like an office number, like the extension.
And just to make sure we understand too, the business card is immaculate. It's like the one that causes Bateman to like lose his shit. Like the level of, it's not something Rocco's going to give a fuck about, but
It's a cool business card.
every time the business card comes out, I want to make sure it's very clear. That's
You
impressive.
might want to just like, spend that much on it.
He taps it against his hand and says, "You know, I've seen one like this recently. You really should give Cryptid a call. She sends her regards." And he pockets the card.
We've been in touch. Don't you worry.
That's not what she told me today. So
Wait, no, they had sexy texts, so people were getting all sorts of Riley in the fucking in character.
Waiting a number of business days before I.
cards on the table. Cryptid talked to Rocco earlier today, and because he wanted to clear it with her that he found out he was going on a mission with Ares. He knows that there's some beef between them, so he checked in with her and said, "Hey, is this going to burn my bridge with you if we go on it?" And she's like, "No, just let him know he should really answer my call." So that's
narratively beautiful. I thought there was a reply. It says no reply.
Yeah, there's no.
I just saw it and was like, I just assumed it was a reply. I didn't read it. A bunch of people like marked it, and I was like, okay, well.
No reply is referring to like when you get an email that says "Do not reply," like no reply.
Yeah.
It's a one-way message. I'm not having. Oh, this isn't WhatsApp. It's just you ask me for something, I let you know my answer, and then that's the end of the conversation.
Right. When I go on vacation next week, mine's going to say something similar. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even read it.
Oh shit! I have to do an out of office thing. God damn it.
Yeah. Big boss mode. Okay, so that's where we'll end the session. Thanks for watching.
Wait, no.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have one more thing. Before Ares goes, Rem would pull out the Militech chip. You seem distracted, but this was in there. I don't know what's on it.
I'll have a look. Thank you for being so forthcoming, and he'll kind of extend his hand for a handshake. Say, this was fun. We're square. Don't worry about it.
If you could, if there's any relevant information on there, could you send that my way as well?
Of course.
Okay.
So Rocco looks around at both of them and looks at Rem and says, "So I guess I'm the only person you owe a favor to."
Yes.
He chuckles.
We'll talk about what I owe you.
She did say she had 3,000 eddies. If you want to just have her pony up some cash, that could also work.
We'll figure it out.
I like her being broke. I can't make her be broke because she paid off her parents' debt already. Name of the episode, by the way, is.
And then immediately dies.
Well,
or one of them immediately dies.
Your dad's still alive, and we can't wait
the
for
less
that.
toxic one immediately dies.
Death's to dust. Okay, so last call for anything. If anybody wants to add anything on there.
Nope.
Then we'll end it there. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you after Gen Con as we pick back up after the checkpoint for Series 3. See you then.
Yippee! And not a